And now it's got real savings. In fact, it's the biggest deals of the year. Audacious? Absolutely. So don't wait. Stock up early and you'll be able to save up to $20 on Scott's Triple Action and Easy Seed products today at the Home Depot, Lowe's, or Ace Hardware. Offers available March 7th through 20th at select U.S. stores while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See store for exact offers.
Where's me shamrock?
Everybody's Irish at Hibernian Pub's St. Patrick's Day celebrations. This year, there's double the Irish with 2 parties.
Come out for a wee drum.
Saturday, March 16th, Hibernian takes over Glenwood South, starting at noon with live music, Irish dancers, bagpipers, and great food and drinks to celebrate all day. Then, Sunday, March 17th, there's a live DJ party with bagpipers and Irish dancers on North Street next to Hibernian Pub on Glenwood starting at noon. Get details at hibernianpub.com.
Adam Gold here from my friends at CertaPro Painters, the painting professionals. And let me tell you, that's something that I don't want to do in my own house. My wife likes it. I don't. These people love it. They are the professionals. You can also trust them to get the job done right and safely and quickly. And each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, which means they live in our community. And you can schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness.
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Increasing sunshine as we head through the afternoon and feeling good out there with a high of 70 degrees. We'll be partly cloudy tonight with a low of 49. And then tomorrow we'll see increasing clouds with a high of 65. We're looking at a good chance for scattered storms on Saturday. It's a WRAL weather alert day.
And the weather update is brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit Newcomb&Company.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones is currently up 106 points at 38,767. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Life is too short to live with foot, knee, or back pain. Schedule an appointment for help at goodfeet.com.
The Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
Breaks a tackle, Riley Leonard rumbles in for the touchdown.
Off a play action, here's Morris throwing end zone, caught, touchdown Lassane.
May is going to throw. Down, touchdown, Carolina.
Brady under pressure, and he's sacked by Brian Burns.
Circles, his shot, they score! Jesper Fast ends it! Carolina going to the conference finals!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We don't have any major news for the Carolina Hurricanes, but maybe some setting up for some major news. I'm Tim Donnelly. Graham Hill producing the show today, sitting in for Dennis, and I hope, and you ready? I hope for the Canes culture. I hope for the very thing everyone is worried about ruining. I hope for the Canes culture. The Canes are getting ready to make a big move before the trade deadline tomorrow, 2 minutes ago. We are less than 24 hours until the trade deadline, and I am hoping beyond all hope that the Canes do something. The Canes owe it to the players in their locker room to do something. There's so much worry about messing up the Canes culture by making a trade at the deadline. Why? I have the opposite question. What about messing up the Canes culture by not making a trade at the deadline? I'll use this tweet from yesterday, but I think it sums up a lot of what I've heard from Canes fans out there. This one comes from Dylan, a listener. No trades. Keep the guys. Feed off of the fact that we don't need to make personnel changes to win. The culture is what it is because of this group. The more and more I read that and that sentiment, and Dylan's not the only one, I've heard it from a million different places, a million different sources. the more I disagree. Canes culture, yes, it is about the people in that locker room. Yes, it is about the system that Rod Brindamore asked them to play. But it's about doing everything you can to win games. What about the players on the roster? In a lot of ways, and I say this lovingly, playing for the Canes stinks. Right? The system is brutal. You're playing man-to-man on defense the entire time. You are gunning your reserves to empty every single shift. I equate it to like running the 4x400 meter in track.
Or no huddle offense for football.
Or no huddle offense 100% of the time. It stinks, but it's glorious, right? By the end of the game, by the end of the run, by the end of the relay, you'll be gassed beyond all gassed, but you'll feel glorious because you laid it all out there to help your team win. They ask their defensemen to sell out. They ask their forwards to prioritize defense. That which, by the way, comes with less statistics, right? Comes with less goals scored. Comes with when it's your turn to hit free agency, you don't have all of the gaudy point totals because you sacrificed that to make the Canes win as much as you can. It's like a wide receiver in a running offense. You're out there blocking your tail off. It's the same amount of effort. You just don't get the catches, the yards, or the touchdowns. You sacrifice that because the coaches tell you running the ball is the best way to win. So if the players are asked to sacrifice to win, how do you look them in the face and continue to ask them to do that when you say, oh, we like our guys. We didn't absolutely sell out to win at the trade deadline. We didn't absolutely make all the moves. We didn't go get Gensel. We didn't go get whoever your apple of your eye is. Ryan Whitney, longtime NHL player, now one of the hosts of the very popular Spittin' Chicklets podcast, tweeted this out yesterday. Carolina Hurricane fans have every reason to explode with anger and disgust if they don't do anything at the deadline. The team could win it all. They are a piece or two away. Their owner only wants guys with term. Grab a rental and try to win the Stanley Cup. That's from Ryan Whitney. I would change one thing. I agree with all of that, by the way, but I would change one thing in what I'm telling you. Replace fans with players. Carolina Hurricanes players have every reason to explode with anger and disgust if they don't do anything at the deadline. Yes, they have friends. They have guys they like, okay? You may not want to have a big trade because that means one of your buddies might leave, but I guarantee you no one went into professional hockey with, my goal is to make a new best friend. They went into professional hockey with, my goal is to win a Stanley Cup, and I already sacrifice a ton. I put in the effort. I put in the work. I empty my gas tank every night to win a Stanley Cup. If you tell me that your job as a GM, your job as a front office executive is to go and make this roster as good as possible, if you do that, I'll see my buddy in the offseason. Right? If I got a good friend that has to get traded away, we'll go vacation after the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll invite him to my party that I throw with my day with the cup. You make the move. You make the move. And all of I have to be honest, Canes fans, a lot of you seem brainwashed. Brainwashed by this, we only make trades when we absolutely win the trade by $1 billion, and we only make trades when the guy's signed to a long-term deal and he's going to be around here, and you think that's the proper way to go about it, and not always the case. Sometimes the case, not always the case. It's okay to want something now. It's okay to realize you have a solid roster. It's okay to realize you have a solid minor league system, and it's okay to realize you have a bunch of draft picks, and you can want them now. You can use them now. You can cash in those chips now.
To me, I feel like a lot of this comes from both as a fan and as a front office perspective. A lot of the guys on the roster currently were a part of that 2019, rebuild that got them back to Stanley Cup playoffs. So maybe there's a mindset of we owe it to these guys like a Brett Pesce, like a Martin H's, to get these guys to a Stanley Cup appearance with this current roster.
Do you know how I counter that? Nomar Garciaparra.
No, I mean I totally agree.
Here's how I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with the sentiment. Nomar Garciaparra. I've been. Do you remember Nomar? You might be too young for Nomar.
Kind of.
Shortstop for the Red Sox. I go way back with Nomar. When I was living in Jersey, he was in the minor leagues playing for the Trenton Thunder. So and as I was probably 4 or 5 years old, right? When you're 4 or 5 years old, is there anything cooler than that guy's name is Nomar Garciaparra? Like that was my guy. For no reason other than his name was fun to say. Then he goes on to the Red Sox and he's part of that build, right? He's a part of that build. The curse of the Bambino. He's going through it all. He's the guy that's dueling Derek Jeter every year. He's the Red Sox guy. Guess when they traded Nomar Garciaparra? Halfway through 2004. Guess what they did in 2004? They broke the curse of the Bambino, and the Red Sox won the World Series. And guess what they did? They shipped him a ring and said, you were here for the first part of it, here's your ring. But they had to move on from their guy, their addition, right? It was Alex Rodriguez, it was Derek Jeter, and it was Nomar at shortstop. In the majors, it was their guy, and they loved him. And, I mean, his name, Nomar Garciaparra. Say that with a Boston accent when you drop your R's. It sounds cooler. That he was their guy, and they moved on from him because they had to go win a World Series. And they were desperate to win a World Series because they were the Red Sox, and they hadn't won it since Babe Ruth. The Canes need to be that desperate to win a World Series to where you might have someone you love. You might have someone that was part of the build. You might have someone with a lot of jerseys in the stands. You might have to say, we'll ship you the ring once we go finish the job.
Or we'll invite you to the parade.
We'll invite you to the parade, and the player you bring back, you can take credit for that. And by the way, we're going to be talking a lot about Gensel today because from Pittsburgh, because he's kind of floated in all these rumors as a main Carolina target. Pittsburgh reportedly doesn't want players. They want prospects. You might not have to give up any of the guys that you love and have been here since the rebuild started. You might be able to keep all of those guys and still bring in Gensel. One of them's got to go to the bench, but hey, you can win a cup on the bench. You owe it to the players on the roster that will still be on the roster to empty your gas tank with moves to get better, the same way you ask them to empty their gas tank every single day with the system that you play. You owe it to them just like you owe it to everybody else on that facility. The trainers, right? By the way, athletic trainers, horrendous hours. Athletes are getting there before practices, and sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning, you got to be there to tape ankles, ice, do rehab. Trainers are pouring their soul into it, and you're going like, well, we want to see about maybe the next 4 years. No, go all in. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm here for DraftKings. Calling all North Carolina sports fans. Soon enough, DraftKings Sportsbook will be live right here in North Carolina starting March 11th. That's right, you will be able to bet on all your favorite sports, including the Carolina Hurricanes. I believe they play the 12th, and sports betting opens in North Carolina March 11th. So you can get ready for your picks and predictions. To celebrate the opening of sports gambling legally here in North Carolina, new customers who download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces, will score up to $300 in bonus bets when you place a $5 bet once they're live. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code TIMD, no spaces, to get up to $300 in bonus bets once mobile sports betting goes live. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, coming soon to North Carolina on March 11th with code TIMD, TIMD, no spaces. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. New customers only. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Maximum $300 in bonus bets. Not available for use until March 11th, 2024. Bonus bets expire 168 8 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbooks/NC. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 will continue with the audio of Nicole Tepper, owner of the Carolina Panthers, sticking her foot, metaphorically, in her very own mouth. Stick around.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina.
He scores! Dmitry Orlov picks the corner, and the Canes take a 2-1 lead.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Second chance, they score! Jesper Fast knocks it home.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey y'all, Dylan at Oak City Customs here. Warm weather is right around the corner, and it's about time to enjoy your backyard or outdoor entertainment space. At Oak City Customs, we offer a wide variety of items for outdoor living, including pergolas, shade sails, fire pits, and outdoor bar areas. In addition to dining room tables and other items for the inside of your home, we would love to make your vision for your outdoor space a reality this season. Come visit us at our showroom in Zebulon, or check us out at oakcitycustoms.com.
Get Spectrum One with Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for just $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line. Ask how you can get a Visa Rewards card up to $500. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all with Spectrum One. Go to spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's me, your future you. You made bad credit card moves. Got no rewards to use. Ugh. Shoulda compared cards with the nerds and got the cash back you deserve. Now you have to stand to see your favorite band while your friends all got VIP wristbands. Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find top credit cards today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet. Finance smarter.
The Body Armor State Games are coming to Charlotte this June. Registration is open to athletes of all ages and skill levels in 25 different sports. The Body Armor State Games feature 13,000 athletes and 700 teams. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Visit bodyarmorstategames.org today. The Body Armor State Games are proud to partner with Truist, Harris Teeter, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, everything for the exterior of your home. Do you have a favorite?
I have a favorite, yeah.
I want to hear
it. So windows, doors are my favorite products. The reason why is because we are the best at installing them. You know, there's 1,000 different types of windows on the market, doors on the market, different people installing them, different companies. I don't care how good a window you get. If it's not installed properly, it's not going to do you a bit of good. I always tell people, if you buy a submarine window, the best one in the world, and you have me put it on a submarine, you don't want to get in that submarine.
I don't want to get in the submarine either way.
I hear you. So anyway, so that's the thing I say. So it's really important that you have things installed properly. We've been around since 1961. We've got a 4.9 out of 5-star Google review ratings, over 800 reviews. Give us a call. We'll come out and give you a free no obligation estimate.
It's the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online at aluminumcompany.com.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house online and owning it. Between imagining living there and breathing in your new home for the first time. Having an advocate who can help you navigate the complex world of financing, inspections, negotiating, analyzing the market, and talking through any anxieties that may pop up, that can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and bound by a code of ethics, because that's who we are.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Graham Hill producing the show. You're going to hear some interesting music choices coming out of break today. This one, Country Grammar, because his name is Graham. It's the name of the song, and it's the name of our producer today. Nicole Tepper. I don't know how else to describe this other than she stuck her foot in her mouth in an interview with Kay Adams yesterday. Kay Adams, NFL Network reporter, has a show. She's traveling around to the different facilities. She was in Charlotte. Talked to Dave Canales. We'll air some of that audio later. Talked to Nicole Tepper. That is David Tepper's wife. She's one of the owners of the Carolina Panthers. And the question it's not even like a leading question, right? Sometimes you hear like, hey, who on the team do you hate the most? That's a leading question, right? That's just going to get you in trouble no matter how you answer it. This wasn't that. It was about the proudest thing they've done. What are they most proud of in the 6 years being involved as the Panthers owner? And Nicole Tepper said, I'll take it from here. I can make this into a mess. Here's Nicole Tepper's answer.
We've embraced the city. I think what's great about being here in Charlotte and having this platform is being able to open up the stadium to 40 ticketed events. I mean, for the city and the state of Charlotte, for the people here and the economic impact it had. So for me, for Dave, like that's really one of the most proudest moments in the 6 years. I think before there was only 10 to 13 events here. So, I mean, think about that. It's amazing.
The thing they are most proud of is bringing concerts to the stadium. They've owned an NFL franchise for 6 years. The thing they are most proud of is bringing concerts, essentially in the offseason, to the stadium.
Look, Tim, I'm just as excited as Morgan Wallen coming to Bank of America Stadium this summer as the next guy. But you could have put one thing about the Carolina Panthers in your response for your proudest moment. Like you could have had a key, like a note card on the side, like be sure to mention like Cam Newton coming back, like something like that.
Or admit that it's been rough. Or say the proudest moments are yet to come.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Or like you can't say here's what it is, okay? This is what's so frustrating, and this is why I'm literally having a hard time articulating myself, but I'm going to power through. This is simply a group of people, meaning David Tepper and Nicole Tepper, a pairing of people, a couple that don't understand professional sports, and they happen to be the most important people running a professional sports franchise. You can't change the narrative in sports. You can't misdirect in sports because everything in sports is wins and losses, right? What are you most proud of? You better pick a win. What are you most proud of? Beating Houston this past year on a game-winning field goal. What are you most proud of? You better have a win, an honor, an accolade, because sports are a results-based business. You can't misdirect. In other businesses, you can try to change the focus to what you're doing well, right? You can see, like, if someone asks you, hey, last 6 years running your doohickey producing business, right? You manufacture thingamabobs. You know, what are you most proud of? You can kind of in your head think, sure, you know what? Our profits in quarter 4 were lower than we anticipated, but this is what you would say, right? We made unbelievable strides in research and development, and our tech is improving every day. And maybe stockholders will be happy with that, right? Maybe your stock will go up. All right, they're not making the profits that they want, but they're this other branch of their business is thriving. You can't do that in sports. You can't think, sure, our on-field results were worst in the league last year, and we've gotten worse pretty consistently since we took over, but we've driven revenue through our events branch of the business. You can't do it. In sport, when you buy a franchise, you are signing up to be judged by one thing: wins and losses. They don't understand that. They're going like, well, our wins and losses aren't up. However, if you look at this other department in our business, we're thriving in the events business, and it's actually been quite profitable for us. Matter of fact, we're considering spending more time on that side of the business. 40 ticketed events every offseason is obviously more than the 8 or 9 home games we get per year. So we have to reevaluate our. It's no. wins. Wins, losses. If your answer doesn't come in some form of being informed by wins and losses, it's going to come across as if you think we're stupid. It's going to come across as if you don't care about the things you should be caring about, or you don't want us to notice that the thing we all care about is horrendous.
The one thing that stuck out to me about that soundbite was Kay Adams just, okay. Her only two responses that she could put
Kay
together.
Adams was she wasn't even the passenger seat in the metaphorical car going off the cliff. She was just standing next to it going, lady, if you want to drive, go ahead.
She was on the side of the road going, no, keep going right. No, okay.
Turn. All right, keep the cameras rolling. Keep them rolling.
Hey, at least she was playing Garth Brooks.
Here's the Here's the fact, right? When you are an owner or anyone in a leadership position, I'd say coach, GM, quarterback, owner, boss, manager, owner of a small business, owner of a large business, lead in a movie, director. When you are in a position of leadership, you attract blame and you deflect praise. Okay? That's the first rule number one. Every leadership book, the first chapter should be attract blame, deflect praise. Right? When somebody wins, what does the owner say? We have great players, we have great coaches, we have a great front office. When they lose, what do they say? And a good owner. Well, we have to reevaluate what we're doing starting at the top. You attract blame, you deflect praise. You are the leader of the franchise. What is this doing? You're pointing to a weird sidebar of success you've had. Instead of saying, well, our proudest moments, they've been few and far between, but we're learning and we hope to have many more in the future. There have been some bright spots. We liked the way Bryce Young looked in clutch a few times last year. We're loving the relationship we have with former players now. Dan Morgan taking over the GM, honoring a former great Panther, whatever, right? Instead of looking for the things that other people have done, you're looking for the things you've done. Don't hype yourself. That's a good rule for that should be chapter 2 of the leadership book. Don't hype up yourself. Nobody has ever made more friends going, you know who's awesome? Me. You know who's awesome? What me and my husband have done. That nobody is like, you know what? We should invite them to more dinner parties. Did you hear they read their resume and all the things that they've made money on? That was good fun at the dinner table. We should invite them over for drinks later.
Marty and Wendy Bird.
It's just not how it works. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, and I want to tell you about my friends over at Window Nation. And Window Nation, I'm just going to, let you guys know, they blew my mind. My guy Justin from Window Nation came over to the house, and he was looking at our windows. He was talking about what we could do to improve the efficiency, how we could get more money from our or more bang for our buck from our energy bill. And he had what he called the science experiments, right? He brought out the heat lamp. He brought out the window textures. He brought them all out. We had thermometers. We were putting our hand here. Can you feel the heat? Hand here. Can you not feel the heat? Look at the shadows. You need to see it for yourself to completely understand what Window Nation can do for your windows, especially when you consider what they have going on right now, which is a buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free with no limits. No limit on how much you can save. Buy 2, get 2 free, as many windows as you need, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. Get that free, no obligation quote now. Make sure they do the science experiments for you because it'll be worth it to show you everything your windows can do. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION right now, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com to schedule. That's windownation.com to schedule your science experiment, really a consultation and no obligation quote right now from Window Nation. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the 5 most pivotal players in the UNC Duke game coming up on Saturday. The 5 most important players. We rank them next.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojingler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Were you forced to get a nosebleed mortgage rate in the past year? Loan Pronto is here to rescue you. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Listen, if your mortgage rate is over 7, you're going to be in heaven with Loan Pronto's zero-cost refi. You can cut your house payment by hundreds of dollars with zero closing costs. Rates have come down, so you can say goodbye to that bad loan you got stuck with. Loan Pronto's now got APRs with fixed rates in the 5s. One couple just did this and saved over $550 a month with no appraisal and closed in 10 days. So, don't live with that stupid rate a day longer. You can lock in at a lower rate now with no cost and very little paperwork. Loan Pronto, your easy button for lower rates and no closing cost loans. Call now and see how much lower you can get your house payment. Refi now and you can even skip your next 2 house payments altogether. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Equal housing lender.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem killing helpline 877-718-5543.
Together live, I Prevail. Hailstorm. July 9th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. With special guests, Hollywood Undead and Fit for a King. On sale Friday at livenation.com. I Prevail. Hailstorm. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
Is your heating and air system ready for all weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
The warm weather is getting here and people are thinking about getting outside and doing some different stuff. Well, I know a place that you can go. Dennis Cox, my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. You're thinking about all the events that you want to do spring, summer, even the fall, birthday parties, anniversaries, you name it. Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School has the opportunity for you. Whether you go out on the course, you try their shooting school, you go on the target range, you name it, check out deepriversportingclays.com, deepriversportingclays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you are, we're going to talk 5 most pivotal players in the UNC at Duke game on Saturday. We're going to rank them. That's coming up in a second. If you are of the age where you're probably a little too old for TikTok, which I consider, I kind of missed it, you're going to be confused today. Quick story. So we're obviously a media company here at Capital Broadcasting Company and 99.9 The Fan. So, and I think I've said this before, our social media manager gave me the task.
Who just walked by, actually.
Yeah, she's checking up on me, and her ears are ringing. Gave me the task of scrolling on TikTok to get to know, and she basically just wants us to know the landscape on all social medias.
Doom scrolling.
That's what she calls it. That's my assignment. So I was doom scrolling, and there's a song that I'm not going to sing, or that some people might not even know, that somehow came into my algorithm, and it got stuck in my head. It annoyed the heck out of me. I saw 900 different people, and that's only kind of an exaggeration, singing this song. And it made me feel very old. It made me feel like I don't understand TikTok. It was stuck in my head, and it annoyed the heck out of me. And I told Graham this in a moment of vulnerability. I told my 25-year-old coworker that is producing my show today in a moment of vulnerability what was going on, and he responded with, he's playing nothing but TikTok songs to return at a commercial the entire day.
So some of you are going to hate the rejoin music all show long, but some of your high school or middle school children that you're currently driving home from school, you'll be like, Dad, I love this show.
So exactly.
Jack
if
Harlow.
you are confused, consider that I am also confused along with you, and who knows, maybe you'll discover something new that you like. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Top 5 most pivotal players in UNC at Duke on Saturday. First, let's get some honorable mentions out of the way. I have to just explain. So I planned this out as the top 5. There was a point in time when I considered going to top 15 because you realize how am I leaving? It's a very tough list to make, right? For I'm a big Saturday Night Live fan. If you were to make me say who's your top 5 Saturday Night Live castmates of all time, it'd be a very difficult list, right? Have to cut some of my favorites. So I said top 5 pivotal players for the UNC Duke. Who does this matchup hinge on? Who is it going to flip on? And I realized after I agonized over this list, Harrison Ingram's not on it. Harrison Ingram might be my favorite player to watch this year. Makes winning plays all over the place. Jared McCain isn't on it. Jared McCain might be my favorite freshman to watch this year. He is stone cold. Jeremy Roach isn't on this list, the veteran for Duke. Here's John Shire talking about Jeremy Roach's impact on Duke's basketball program.
Yeah, I'm just, I can't tell you how proud I am of him. He's, I said this the other day, but I'll double down on it. I don't know if there's a guy in our program's history from the timing that he's been here and what he's seen that's as important with the impact that he's made. You think about the transition with Coach K and myself, but then you think about, you go first 2 years, the spectrum, you miss a tournament and there's the pandemic with nobody in here. But then you go to a Final Four the next year. You win an ACC championship as a junior. He's played with a lot of different players, a lot of great players.
Didn't make the list. Has that kind of impact on the program. Didn't make the list.
Wow.
Who else didn't make the list? A whole bunch of them. I'm not going to list them all because that would, by process of elimination, you could find out who's on the list. But there were a lot of honorable mentions in this one, deserving just off the podium, just off the nominees list. We'll start with number 5. The number 5 most pivotal player in the UNC at Duke game on Saturday is Elliot Cadeau. Here's why Elliot Cadeau made the list over all of those players I mentioned. He is a freshman making his first start in a North Carolina uniform, in a Tar Heels uniform, in Cameron Indoor against Duke, and he handles the ball a ton, right? He's one of the calming presences, right? When R.J. Davis is flame-throwing and launching, and when Armando Bacot's in the post, and when Harrison Ingram is out there on the wing, Elliot Cadeau has to be the one to decide how and when to get those guys the ball. And then on top of that, he's become more of a playmaker recently where it feels like his finishing around the rim, his layup package, has grown a ton in the last 3 weeks because he's driving into lane, he's absorbing contact, he's flipping it up with spin, with English off the glass, and he's finding ways to pick up those and ones, which has become something they've built off of. Now, do all of that in a top 10 on top 10 matchup against your bitter rival in their arena while they're chanting at you. And if you make a mistake, they're going to rub it in your face.
Hubert Davis also mentioned when speaking about Elliot Cadeau that he also just has God-given speed. Like one time after a game, Elliot Cadeau during practice said, "Coach, what can I be doing to step up my game?" And Coach Davis looked at him and just said, "Keep driving to the basket. If I had speed like you as a freshman, I would just take it to the rack every single time."
I mean, the level of recruit he is, he's going to come in with certain raw abilities, right? You don't. It's kind of the only thing you guarantee about 5 stars is that they have certain physical abilities because you don't know how some of the skill and shooting and things are going to translate from high school to college and college to the pros. But, you know, like a miles per hour is a miles per hour. You know what I mean? A height is a height. A vertical jump is a vertical jump, no matter where and who is doing it. It's all the same, kind of track-like. So Cadeau, yeah, he can go. He can go. And you know, a mistake at his position, a rough game from his position can change everything. That's why he's pivotal. Number 4, this time a Duke, maybe less or younger player. Sean Stewart is number 4. Caleb Foster isn't playing, right? Which means Sean Stewart has to play minutes. And it's one thing to be a young player playing in the Duke-North Carolina game when you've played big minutes against Georgia Tech, and you've played big minutes against Wake, and you've played big minutes against NC State, and you've played big minutes against Boston College and Syracuse and Miami and Florida State, and you've played big minutes in all of these games throughout the year. So, yeah, is the rivalry a big deal? Yes, but maybe playing big minutes in college basketball isn't as big of a deal. Sean Stewart, because of the Caleb Foster injury, is playing significantly more minutes than he's played recently, and he's going to have to do that again. This is how you know it's still new to him. When Sean Stewart played whatever it was, 17 minutes the other night, and played well and scored some buckets and had some blocked shots, this was against NC State. Post-game, guess what happened? He's getting interviewed about it, right? And it was actually Jared McCain doing the interview as kind of very team fun-oriented, like locker room media thing. And he was saying, like, hey, what was it like to get out there and contribute? What was it like to get out there, be on the floor more in the win? And guess who you don't ask that question of? Somebody who it's not a big deal that they played a lot of minutes, right? If you're out there playing 25 minutes a game and then you have a good game, no one's going like, what was it like to be on the floor? You talk more specifics. Sean Stewart's still new to this, and now he's new to this and being depended upon to go out there and try to even the season series against North Carolina.
Well, also similar to that, like we saw in the NC State basketball game, if Kyle Filipowski and Ryan Young get in foul trouble, you're going to be asking a lot of your 2 freshman forwards, TJ Powell and Sean Stewart, to play. Now, they were able to rise to the occasion in that NC State game, but in a big-time rivalry game like this, last game of the season, it's a lot of pressure for a freshman to be coming into.
Even if they don't get into that kind of foul trouble, I think Sean Stewart's going to have to be out there. I'm not sure Sean Stewart, and I've said this is not new information, is the springiest, twitchiest. When you mix size and athleticism, he's the most athletic guy on the Duke roster. So I'm not sure Ryan Young is somebody who you can trust to just match up with someone like Harrison Ingram or Armando Bacot and have it be an even deal when Duke is on defense. Sean Stewart, if he's playing at the top of his level, has some of the physical traits that makes that more possible. I think he's going to have to play. And I think I'm not saying 25 minutes. I think he's going to have to play 15 to 18 minutes. And you can't lose 15 to 18 minutes just because, you have an inexperienced player out there. Pivotal for Sean Stewart. Number 3, Armando Bacot. You knew he was going to be on here, right? Armando Bacot. He was the best player on the floor in their first meeting. He 25, 10, and 5. He is a player who's played in the biggest of games. He is a player who Duke didn't have an answer for. And I know Filipowski got some stats in that last game, but the difference was clear watching it, right? Armando Bacot was more effective. If he does that again, it's going to be very tough for Duke to get the win because you can build off of that, right? Because then, as we mentioned, the defenders have to show a little bit more attention down there, and that opens up the perimeter. And then there's driving lanes for Elliot Cadeau, shooting space for R.J. Davis and Harrison Ingram, and it builds from there. And, he's the all-time leading rebounder in North Carolina history. It's pretty good. Good top line of the resume. Number 2, most pivotal player in the UNC Duke matchup on Saturday, Kyle Filipowski. And I'm requesting, it's abstract. I'm requesting toughness. I'm done saying I need 20 and 10 from Filipowski because he's given me 20 and 10, meaning given the opponent 20 and 10 more than a few times this year where I still felt like I needed a little more. And it wasn't that I need more stats. It wasn't that I need more threes or I need more dunks. It was I needed more eye test, right? I needed more attitude, toughness. I need him to take on some personal challenges. That's what I'm looking for from Flip. Armando Bacot got the better of you last time. How many nights has that kept you up since? Right? Armando Bacot got the better of you last time. How many extra sprints did you run because of that? That's what I want to see come out in this game.
Don't forget, too small.
Yeah.
Too small. You got to take stuff like that personally.
That's a perfect example. And for those that didn't see it, too small is where you – I don't even know how to describe it. You like
for those looking on WRL Sports Plus, I'm kind of doing it right now.
You mime like patting a leprechaun on its head after you score on somebody, and what that means is they're too small to guard me. And that was the most old guy explanation of a taunt in the history of the world.
Matter of fact, not just Armando Bacot, but the whole Carolina bench. The whole Carolina bench was doing it right to you.
And it's even more, I would say, insulting when somebody who's 2 or 3 inches shorter than you does the too small to you, which is exactly what happened. Filipowski needs to be not just the future lottery pick off the Duke Blue Devils. He needs to be angry. He needs to be tough. He needs to be edgy. He needs to be sandpaper, not smooth. Sandpaper.
Blue still can't be doing that to you.
Number 1 is R.J. Davis. The most pivotal player in the UNC at Duke game is R.J. Davis because I believe he is the most likely to go on a stretch that changes everything. He's most likely to, with 9 minutes left in the game, have it be Duke 61-59, and in the blink of an eye, it's UNC 70-61 because he hit 2 threes and one of them was an and one, or 3 threes and one of them was an and one. Got to get my math right. He's the most likely. He's the ACC Player of the Year in my book. He's a guy that's comfortable taking big shots. He'll take shots even after. If he starts 2 of 11, you're still going to get 9 more shot attempts from R.J. Davis. I don't always agree with it, but he can both shoot North Carolina into a win and shoot North Carolina out of a win. And that's the definition of pivotal, right? And that's what he signed up for. It's in an era of college basketball when no one stays, he stayed, right? You go back and look at his recruiting class, there are some really good basketball players in that recruiting class for UNC. Transfer portal, first round pick. They're all gone except for R.J. Davis. He stayed to be the guy in this game to take the shot. If that's not pivotal, I don't know what is, right? He needs his Jimmy Chitwood moment, right? Game on the line, down the stretch, I'll make the shot.
Jerry Stackhouse moment at Cameron.
Yeah, Jerry we could go. That's a better example. I should have used
Danny Green.
A Capel moment, Danny Green moment, or on the flip side, an Austin Rivers moment. I should have used all from that rivalry rather than Jimmy Chitwood. But Hoosiers, who can be mad at Hoosiers? Graham's producing the show. I have to use movie references. R.J. Davis is going to have his chance to put his fingerprints for one more time on this rivalry. I think he's the most pivotal player in the game. Now, the hard part is, by the way, that's the 5. Number 5, Cadeau. Number 4, Stewart. Number 3, Bacot. Number 2, Filipowski. Number 1, R.J. Davis. Most pivotal players in the game on Saturday. The interesting part is how many of the others will contribute to those 5, right? Jared McCain wasn't on the list. Jared McCain might be guarding R.J. Davis. So indirectly, he's going to impact the most pivotal in the game, right? Like I said, Mark Mitchell might be guarding Bacot at times. There you go, same thing, and making him work on the other end, which is going to have to happen. So it's all intertwined. It's, the honorable mentions will impact those guys, but for my money, those are the ones. Those 5 guys are who this matchup hinges on. They're the fulcrum, the tipping point, whatever you want to call it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's look towards the Canes a little bit here. We are 23 hours and 13 minutes away from the NHL trade deadline. I am all in on the Canes not only making a move, but doing what's necessary to bring in Jake Gensel from the Pittsburgh Penguins. I've been on the make a move, make a splash, go get whoever your guy is for a while now. I'm zeroing in on Gensel from Pittsburgh. For a little bit of the background, a little bit of the context, here's Elliot Friedman, obviously national reporter covering the NHL.
There's this thing about Carolina. They don't believe in paying the most for rentals. But sooner or later, I think you have to do it to score and win the Stanley Cup. Last year, they lost the Eastern Conference Final because they just simply couldn't score against Florida. At some point in time, you have to take the chance. I think Carolina's got a really good team. And I believe if they do want to put some of their good prospects in there, those are the kinds of players that Pittsburgh wants. So I do think Vancouver was absolutely interested. I'm just not convinced that they are going to be able to be the top of the list for Gensel. I think, like I said, I think Carolina, I think Colorado tried. I think the Rangers have been around it. And I just don't know if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow morning or there's anyone else I'm missing. I'm always assuming, Biz, there's someone I'm missing.
Carolina. It fits. Don't overthink it. It fits. Craig Wyshynski, senior NHL reporter for ESPN, a tweet. His emphasis, he says in the tweet, pure speculation. I don't know how the Hurricanes don't ante up huge for Gensel. It's like he was created in a lab for them. That's the tweet. Now I'll add mine. We've been asking for a second-line center that can score the darn puck all season. Gensel is that. He has more points this season than everyone on the Canes not named Sebastian Aho. There's no argument he's not an upgrade in getting the puck in the net, and there's no arguing that the Canes have had stretches where the only thing they needed was a well-placed goal or two. And it would have taken a downturn stretch and turned it into an upturn stretch. It would have turned from not being in the mix with the Rangers at the top of the division to being in the mix with the Rangers at the top of the division. He is a goal creator, right? More points than everyone not named Aho on the Canes. That's what you need. And he's a center, and he can play second line, and he can lead that team, lead that unit. And he won't, at least from his play, upset what you've built with the Canes. He's a willing defender. He isn't someone that will drive Rod up the wall because they don't play both sides of the ice. He'll put the effort in on the other side.
He's going to fit Rod's system.
I hope his impact is scoring, but he'll do the stuff, right? He'll put the effort in. He'll play the defense. He does it already. So I'm going to ask this question. What's the good argument not to even overpay for him? What's the good argument to not overpay? Not go out there and make an offer that Pittsburgh has to accept? What would you have to give up? The Penguins want prospects, so you aren't even going to have to give up a main contributor from this current roster. Go win the cup. That's what this is about. That's the goal, right? That's the goal. Gensel can help you do that. I said this earlier. You owe it to Aho. There's, go look at the end of careers, whether it's a GM, a coach, a player. Go look at the end of careers. You don't realize the years that you had the best shot at it. I'll use a Duke basketball player. JJ Redick hosts a podcast now, right? Everybody wants to be in the media. JJ Redick, not Roddick. JJ Redick hosts a podcast now. He talks more than if you listen to the podcast, you've heard it enough, is what I'm saying, about I think it's the 2014 Clippers. Do you know why? Because he looking back on his career, he's like, that's the year. That's the year we should have won it all. That's the year we were the best. That's the year I had the best chance at winning an NBA championship as a contributor. And he talks about that Clippers team all the time. There is a chance, maybe even a likelihood, that at the end of Svech's career, at the end of Slavin's career, they're going to be on some podcast and they're going to be going, it was the 2024 Canes. Or maybe, heck, the 2023 Canes, right? You know what year it was? We didn't realize it, but that was our best shot. We should have gone all in. And I spent the rest of my career trying to get back to a point and it just never happened. What a tease that was. By the way, I have to just tell you what just happened in my brain. I just ran 10 miles in my brain in the last 10 seconds. But go get Jake Gensel. That's what I'm saying. ESPN. So if you were listening to the Adam Gold Show directly before this one, about an hour ago, Dennis and Victoria broke the news that Freddie Anderson is activated off the IR. The goalie who hadn't played in 3-4 months, blood clotting issue, was activated off injured reserve. Has not played since November 2nd. That broke like an hour ago, maybe a little more, hour and 10 minutes. ESPN just sent out a notification to my phone that says Hurricanes activate goalie Frederick Anderson from injured reserve. All I saw, because my phone was across the desk, was an ESPN update come across my phone that said Hurricanes ... I was like, here it is. Here's the move. I was just screaming for Jake Gensel to be traded to the Canes, and I willed it into existence. I thought I was going to take credit for it.
You called your shot.
I was ready to roll, and then I looked at my phone and went, oh, never mind.
You thought you had hit the radio show equivalent of a game winner.
I was about to say, forget this break, Graham. I'm talking for the next 10 minutes. We'll figure it out later. But unfortunately, we can't do that. So I'm going to tell you right now about my friends Gordon Miller and everyone over at Miller Lending. 919-447-3377. That's the number. I'll tell you again in a few minutes. They are the home of the no-cost loan at Miller Lending. Gordon's been doing no-closing cost loans since 1987. And what no-closing cost means, I love explaining this because it's right in the name. It's like when it's the name of like a burger is like the bacon cheeseburger, and then you go like, well, what is it? Well, it's a burger. It's got bacon and cheese on it. It says right in the name. The no closing cost loan, what does that mean? Well, it's a loan with no closing cost. I'll explain it because it seems foreign, because every time you buy a house, every time you get a mortgage, you immediately go into what are closing costs going to be, and you start talking to your broker about it, which is why it takes 2 or 3 explanations to completely get. Gordon Miller and Miller Lending, no closing cost loans means no closing costs, no fees, no extras, no hiddens. Zero means zero at Miller Lending. So go ahead and give them a call. I promised you the number once again. Here it is, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. You can also visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll be back with football at 4. We have audio of Dave Canales talking Bryce Young coming up.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina.
He scores! Dmitry Orlov picks the corner, and the Canes take a 2-1 lead.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Second chance, they score! Jesper Fast knocks it home.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
At the North Carolina Education Lottery, we love to celebrate winners. So I hired a town crier to announce Pick 3, Pick 4, and Cash 5 winners.
Hear ye, hear ye.
But there are thousands of winners every day.
Oyez, oyez, oyez.
I may not have thought this through.
A proclamation of jubilant accord.
Who gave him a bell?
Daily draw games. What will you do with your win?
Must be 18 to play. See Pick 3, Pick 4 and Cash 5 prize and odds charts at nclottery.com for details. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hey, it's Victoria Vodnecker here with some huge news. BetMGM is coming soon to North Carolina, but you can sign up right now with an early registration offer. Open a BetMGM account today with bonus code VICTORIA, and you'll receive $200 in bonus bets once the app goes live. It's the best way to be ready for the action the moment BetMGM begins accepting wagers, and there's no deposit required. So get ready to enjoy your favorite sports like never before with a state-of-the-art betting app with dozens of betting options, including props, parlays, futures, live betting, and much more. Plus, check out a lion's share of promotions and free-to-play games available. Don't miss a single slap shot while you take the ice with hockey's biggest stars. Be a part of the biggest college tournament of the year. It's showtime, North Carolina. Get ready to roar with the king of sportsbooks. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, North Carolina only. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Planning for spring at Lowe's means big savings on outdoor power equipment, and Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Buy one select Ego string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery free. That's up to a $299 value. Power through spring with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Bobby Joe absolutely hated her job.
Can't hate that job any more than I do.
So, time for one of those fancy tech schools?
No, I could never afford that. I'm going to Sharky's.
Sharky's?
Yeah, no better place to relax. Great food, cold beer, good whiskey, darts, billiards.
So now you love your job?
No, I still hate my job, but I loves me some Sharky's. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, everybody loves Sharky's. Sharky's Place, one of the best neighborhood bars in the world. 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
This is the time of year to enjoy life, isn't it? Everything's starting to bloom. Well, stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Adam Gold here, and this is a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk and run and climb and play and do anything you want pain-free. No pain pills, no surgery, all natural solutions. Live your best life this spring and summer. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 919-400-5473. 919-400-5473. 4 locations: Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. QC Kinetics.
Naloxone can reverse the effects of an opioid overdose and save a life. It's easy to get and easy to use. If you or someone you know is at risk of overdose, keep naloxone on you and at home. Learn more at cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Looking pretty good for us this afternoon. The clouds breaking up just a touch, a little bit of sunshine, warming us up to around 70 degrees, and it is dry for the rest of the day today. And overnight tonight, we'll see a low of 49. We'll see increasing clouds tomorrow. We may see a bit of sunshine to start the day, but cloudy by late afternoon and a high of 65.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcomb&company.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones is up 130 points at 38,791. Market update brought to you by NerdWallet. Don't make your future you hate you. Compare and find top credit card saving accounts and more today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet, finance smarter.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dave Canales, the new head coach of the Carolina Panthers, is an upbeat dude. He's optimistic. He's fun-loving. He's excited to be the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and he loves himself some Bryce Young. It's funny. There's two messages that the Panthers very obviously want to get out to the public. One is all their coaches are in alignment, along with the front office. And two is Dave Canales loves life.
Every time I hear Dave Canales speak, all I can think in the back of my head is just, I got a pocket full of sunshine.
Exactly. It's the secret. You're probably a little young. The secret was this viral, like, mental, it was like a hack, right? And it was all about the first thought of the day needs to be positive, and don't let negative thoughts into your brain, and positive. Dave Canales has read the book.
I feel like he has one of those affirmation signs by his bed that he, like, flips over every day.
He's
jumps out of bed and just immediately starts doing push-ups.
It's the Saturday Night Live guy, right? And doggone it, people like me. Here's Dave Canales talking about his quarterback, Bryce Young.
He's got a lot of experience, a lot of big stage wins, the Heisman, a lot of pressure, things that he's had to deal with. I'm going to lean on that experience. I'm going to lean on his poise. One of the first things I mentioned about Bryce is when you watch him play in college football and you saw him in those big games on TV, whether it was early in the season or whether it was later in the season against really good opponents, if you look behind the face mask, the eyes are the same. His countenance is the same, and he's just cold-blooded. And so those things were what really, encouraged me to say this is going to be the top guy coming out because he's the guy. He is him. Is that what people say nowadays?
He is him.
Yeah. So,
sure. You just called Bryce Young cold-blooded. I like that.
Yeah.
I like hearing that.
And so now it's about just giving him tools, giving him the green light to use those tools in an appropriate fashion and playing a brand of offensive football that we're proud of.
That interview being conducted by Kay Adams. Canales sounded a bit like me with the TikTok conversation earlier, right? Like, he is him. Is that what the cool kids are saying?
Hey, to tell you, 2 people have texted me already saying they love the TikTok song. So,
oh, well.
This might be the new trend whenever I produce.
There we go. Few things. First of all, there's only one way Dave Canales would be able to say what he just said to Kay Adams about Bryce Young's face, right? Because if you're just watching, like, the coach's film is zoomed all the way out to see the entire field. You see all 22, right? You see the entire field. There's 2 angles, one from the side, one from the end zone. You watch them both. That's how coaches traditionally watch film. You can't see facial expressions. Dave Canales went back and watched the TV cut of Bryce Young's Alabama games and was paying attention to when they zoomed in on the quarterback. This dude's been thorough in his evaluations of Bryce. There's only one way to know that in the early games of his Alabama season when there's less pressure and the big games later on when the Heisman was on the line, when the national championship was on the line, when the SEC championship was on the line, that he had the same facial, cool, calm, collected, what do you call him, a cold-blooded. Like, there's only one way to know that, and that's from the television copy. Or being on the sidelines, and Dave Canales was not on the sidelines for Alabama. So, thorough. Here's where I'm at with Dave Canales. I trust his enthusiasm and energy. I trust his vibe. I was a little worried early on that he was doing his best Pete Carroll impression, where he just thought that's what good coaches do because he had been around Pete Carroll so long. So he was up there doing like a caricature. He was going to start chewing gum. Right? That's the Pete Carroll thing. Pete Carroll will be on the sideline watching a extra point and
that Asmore sound was just crazy just then.
Just chewing away, just doing what he's got to do. I half expected, Dave Canales to show up the first day of practice with silver hair, a pack of gum in his back pocket, and
one of those like fanny straps that he has that he's going to be using to play calls with,
like a USC backpack, and he was going to be talking to Matt Leinart. Like, I half expected him to show up doing all of the Pete Carroll stuff. I now believe it's authentic. He's authentically Pete Carroll-like and just happened to coach under Pete Carroll. Here's Canales on the lessons he learned from the former coach, Coach Pete.
I think one of the things that I learned from him, if I could take one thing away from my time with Pete, it was be you. Be yourself, be the best version of who you are and what you can become. So for me, I think it's just like not being concerned with what he did, but how he did it and the things that were so important to him. And we see that blueprint across the league with these successful head coaches that have had tenures that built good championship style football for a long time. They all care about the same thing. It's taking care of the ball. It's taking it away on defense. It's having great effort, running like crazy, and playing smart in situational football. Those are the key pillars, the key tenets that a good football foundation is built on. So that's really what I want to do here.
I trust his enthusiasm. It's now about the X's and O's, and that is more important. If you listen to both answers we played for you, the answer about Bryce Young and the answer about Pete Carroll, the first half, and if you don't remember them word for word, I'll break it down for you. The first half of those answers was very wishy-washy, right? It was very, for Bryce Young, it was all about the eyes and the cold-blooded and the calm. For the answer about Pete Carroll, the first half of the answer was be you, be yourself, be authentic. The second half of those answers got more nitty-gritty, right? The second half about Bryce Young was we need to surround him with the players that allow him to run the offense more effectively. For Pete Carroll, at the end, it started getting into his foundational football beliefs, right? It got more nitty-gritty. That's the part that I still need to see from Dave Canales, and we won't until games start. I'm not knocking him for not having shown us it yet, but I am saying that's now the question.
At least he's not making any open-ended promises right now. I mean, I feel like he's just
going to win 9 games this year.
I feel like he's just going through his game plan, what he has, where he's going to put in place to build Bryce Young's career, make him successful with the pieces around him.
Bryce Young will be in a healthier environment this year. I'm confident of that. The coaches won't be as Game of Thrones backstabbing trying to get the throne. The offense will be built a little bit more cohesive rather than trying to blend a bunch of different systems together from a bunch of different coaches who come from a bunch of different coaching trees. He will be in a healthier environment as a like social environment that it'll be better for Bryce. Will it be a better team around Bryce? We still haven't seen. Will it be an offense that is more built to his skill set? That we haven't seen, and there's no way for us to see it, and you have to give him time to go through free agency and the draft to do it. But that's where we're at with Dave Canales. I now, with a certain amount of time spent hearing him at the Combine, at the intro press conference, in interviews, now with Kay Adams, I believe the enthusiasm and authenticity is how he rolls. That's Dave Canales at his core. That's good. That's important. It's way more important to get the football right. That's next on the to-do list. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, and I want to tell you about my friends over at the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, which is a watch shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location, selling the finest timepieces you can find. I actually have an Omega and Swatch collaboration on my wrist right now, the Moon Swatch. If you want the real thing, the Moon Watch, the thing that this is modeled after, they have an Omega boutique, which is one of the cooler watch locations, not really just in this area, not even just in North Carolina. It is the second largest Omega boutique of its kind in the entire country. Omega is the official timekeeper of the Olympics. I mean, when every second counts, right? The manufacturing, the mechanism, the build, the movement inside these watches, it's absolutely unbelievable. They trust them on the moon, official NASA watch. They trust them at the Olympics. They trust them in big-time movies with very famous spies that everybody watches every time they come out. If they can all trust Omega, I think you can too. Go check out the Omega Boutique located within the Bailey's Fine Jewelry's Village District location. And if you go to the other side, they have all their pre-owned vintage Rolex. They have their new Hamiltons. They have their new Norcanes. They have all the biggest and best brands over there as well. Fox and Bailey's Watch Shop, Village District location of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Check them out and make sure they know we sent you from right here on 99.9 The Fan. We have our Hurricanes and Cons coming up next. What are we most confident in? What are we most concerned about as we head towards the trade deadline tomorrow for the Carolina Hurricanes? That's coming up next.
Carolina.
R.J. Davis, pump fake for three. Now he'll take it. Count it, baby.
Duke.
Whips it inside for Mitchell. Steps through. Oh! A reverse pull-up.
State.
Here comes DJ Horn off the pin down. A floater in the lane. Good.
It's a special time where college basketball just means more. It's Triangle Rivalry Week. All your emotions, all your memories, all your moments will be found here. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Set a reminder for March 11th because that's when you can turn $10 into $100 of bonus bets with Bet365. Just download the app, deposit $10, and claim $100 in bonus bets when they go live March 11th. Sounds good, right? At Bet365, they don't do ordinary, and you're about to find out why, North Carolina. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. T's and C's apply.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at the Law Tigers. I don't know about you guys, but I'm stoked that the Carolina Hurricanes are going to be back in action tonight. I'm going to be invested. I'm locked in. I'm sure you are as well. But I'm thinking also when playoff time rolls around, how fun would it be as a huge Caniac to show up to PNC Arena on your own custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle? That can actually be for you. It's very simple. You can enter at caniacsbike.com because the Law Tigers, Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes, they're all teaming up to give the ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It's an absolutely gorgeous bike, and we're actually weeks away from giving away this bike. Weeks away from this bike being given away on April 5th, live on the ice at PNC Arena. So enter today. Enter right now. Don't wait. Go to caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we get to Hurricanes and cons, what are we most confident, what are we most concerned about for the Carolina Hurricanes, and we will get to that. Paul, who you can hear every morning from 9 to 10 right here on 99.9 The Fan, hosting Next Up, produced by our very young Graham Hill, who's sitting in for Dennis today. He brought something to my attention. Andrew Marchand of The Athletic. He did this during the commercial break. That's why I brought up Paul. He told me about it. Fox Sports will feature a Friday primetime college football game on its broadcast network each week beginning this season. Source with direct knowledge of the network's plans told The Athletic. The games will be Big 10, Big 12, and the Mountain West. Fridays. I'm feeling very old this episode of The Drive with Tim Donnelly, Graham, because I don't like this. And it's not, maybe it's I'm just getting older and I don't like change. Maybe I'm just becoming set in my ways. I'm becoming a stickler. Fridays are high school football. That's what it is. There is a rhythm to the week for football. I call it the 5-day football weekend. Thursday night football. Friday, high school football. Saturday, college football. Sunday, full NFL slate. Monday night football. Then we have the 2-day non-football week, which is Tuesday, Wednesday. If you want to mix in some action in there, little Mid-American Conference, you want to put a Central Michigan Ball State game on, I'm fine with that. Friday, though, I do believe it should be reserved for high school football for all of the towns where high school football is the opportunity for the high school football players to be the main attraction. Friday Night Lights. Have you heard of it? I can tell you this right now. Pick a Big Ten team. We'll go with Illinois.
Okay.
There are some high schools on the I don't know, suburbs of Chicago that definitely don't want everybody having to be watching the Illinois game when those high school football games are going on. Especially when there are full days of the week blocked out for college football. Again, maybe I'm just getting old, but I am a fierce defender of youth sports, and that extends all the way up to high school. Friday Night Lights feeling like the biggest thing going on in your high school town. That's part of the magic, right? That's they write songs about that. There's movies about that.
Scotty McCreery
writes songs about that. Shout out to the NC State fan, Scotty McCreery. Second reference of the week of Scotty McCreery on the show, by the way.
I heard it yesterday. That's the only reason I said it.
But like Friday Night Lights, the movie. Friday Night Lights, the TV show. Boys of Fall by, I believe, Kenny Chesney. It's high school football is a thing. Varsity Blues. We could go on and on.
I hear what you're saying, and I totally agree with you. Friday night should be sacred for high school football. But hearing Mountain West teams are going to be including this just means that, Tim, we can get home from said Friday night football game and at 10 o'clock, college football's on. Or we could be getting ready to go out for our Friday night shenanigans with our buddies, and hey, what can we do while we're just hanging out?
If you told me every Big Ten game was going to include Oregon or Washington, and it was going to start at 10:30,
the Pac-12's back, baby.
I'm in. That changes everything. If you told me every does Big 12 have what? Yeah, they got West Coast teams, right? If you told me all the games started at 9:30 or later, 10 o'clock or later, then I retract everything I've said. Then high schools should just maybe move up their kickoff a little bit and tell everybody to meet at the movie theater to watch the game after.
Let's just do a big noon Friday night football game or Friday football game in high school. Early out, but instead of going home, you just go right to the stadium for a football game.
There was one time we did like a 3:00 matinee game because at the team we were playing at, it was supposed to be a Saturday or a Friday game at some other school. They had a water main break in the middle of their field and we couldn't play it. So we played it Monday at like 3:30 out our field. It was kind of awesome.
Yeah, that sounds great.
You got out of school a little early to go prep. Everybody else, school got out. They just walked on over to the field. Game was starting, sun out. It was kind of awesome.
And you guys won.
We did. They were not very good. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's go.
We need to restart the bed.
Okay, go ahead and restart it.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about when it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes? As always, I have good news and bad news. Which do you want first? We'll take the bad news. That's what you always pick. My concern. Do you have these, Graham? I'm not sure if I prepped you on it.
Yes, I do.
Okay. My concern is lack of urgency for this year. My concern is that there's a vibe that next year and the year after are more chances. And I've seen too many good teams miss their window because they assumed the window extended into next year. And they assumed it was going to extend into next year. I kind of wish the Canes had, like, college eligibility, right? Because going into your senior year, your junior year, you know, like, hey, I only got 2 more shots at this. I only got 1 more shot at this. If it's not now, it's not going to happen. Everybody's clock is ticking. Not tick is clocking, clock is ticking. Everybody's. So the urgency is there. It feels like because Aho is young, right? And because Fetch is 23, and because Jury is 23, and because Jarvis is young, and because Piotr's Kochetkov is kind of emerging as a 24-year-old, you just assume, hey, we got 4 or 5 years to be an elite contender. Doesn't always happen that way. Weird things happen. Injuries happen. Players fall off. Systems get figured out. Like, it doesn't always just work out that way. Some of the old guys move on, and you didn't realize how much you needed Brent Burns, right? It's he retires because he's almost 40 or is 40, and you didn't realize, oh no, that guy was a keystone species to our organization here. My concern is that the lack of urgency, because it feels like there's a bigger window than there might be. What's your concern?
My concern, and it kind of goes along the same lines of what you talked about at the top of the show. By the way, if you missed that conversation, it's up on the Fans YouTube channel. Like and subscribe while you're there. Trade targets are not providing enough offense. Any Hurricanes trade right now should focus on offense and offense only. More specifically, it needs to focus on adding a top 6 scoring option to give the Canes the right amount of scoring threats going into the playoffs. Aho is Carolina's leading scorer with 64 points in 58 games. Behind him is Seth Jarvis with 48 points. Aho gives the top line a much-needed offensive punch. However, the wide gap between him and Jarvis is a bit concerning to me. Furthermore, Aho is the only center on the team with 30 or more points. Drury has 26, followed by Stahl and Kokoniemi, who have 22 and 21, respectively. I just feel like right now the Hurricanes are just kind of dilly-dallying with offensive power going into the trade deadline.
Jake Gensel would sit in right between Aho and Jarvis.
He would be nice, wouldn't he?
He would have more points than anyone on the team not named Sebastian Aho. Just saying. Just saying. My confidence is it's a player we just talked about as the second leading point scorer, Seth Jarvis, but more specifically his hustle. He is. I feel like there might not be a player in the NHL who's like off the ice persona and on the ice style is more different, right? Anytime you hear a story about Jarvis off the ice, it's like he's the kid cousin, right? He's creating mischief. He's telling a joke that everybody's like, "Ooh, that crossed was that an inappropriate joke? Ha ha ha!" Like he's always that guy. And
talk about doing burnouts in the parking lot as he's leaving practice.
Talk about doing burnouts in the parking lot. Talking about drinking beers in Mexico. Like he's the little gnat flying around and everybody's just like swatting at, but having a fun time with it. And then he gets on the ice and he does the dirty work, right? He's flying back on defense to get a half a deflection that 9 times out of 10 he wasn't going to make that play. But that didn't discourage him from flying back and putting all that effort into it. He gives up his body. One of my favorite kind of interactions of the season is when he stopped the puck with his palm and then sprinted to the locker room.
And you're thinking, oh gosh, he just broke his hand.
I don't know how he didn't, but he was willing to. Like, he didn't break his hand, luckily. I know he got a bruise on there. But he basically was willing to break his hand to stop a shot, which isn't the best, risk analysis. It's not the best best like risk and reward. Like your availability is very important, Seth Jarvis. Don't go volunteering to break your hand. But I love that you were willing to do it. I love that you're like, I'll lay my body down. It's like, not you, right? No, but his selflessness and his team first effort and attitude. Every time I watch, it's something that sticks out to me.
He's one of those players that just plays well with the puck and without the puck.
Yeah.
It just feels like he's flying all around the ice. Tim, I know you talked about earlier Bailey's fine jewelry in the watch that you have on your wrist. Can you check the time on your watch real quick?
I can. It is.
It's not clobbering time for my wrestling fans out there that got that reference. It's turbo time.
Oh, okay.
My confidence right now,
you.
now that he's back on the top line with Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov, Teuvo Teravainen has earned a point in his last 4 games. Now with 19 goals in the season, he currently sits tied for second, tallying only Aho with 24. It just feels like Teravainen is turning a corner in the right way as they hit, and he's heading to the right direction as we get closer to the end of the season and into the playoffs. I want more turbo time in the playoffs.
You want more turbo time in the playoffs. For the right guy, would you trade Turbo?
Oh.
Actually, probably not, right? Because he's a contract year, and you're not selling to other contenders. So, poor question on my part. Call me out when I do that, Graham.
I was getting ready to answer you so bad.
Well, it's just I don't think the
bad response on my part.
You're not going to send him to another contender because you don't want to bolster another contender in exchange for prospects or young players because you're in win now mode. So you don't want to send away really any of your guys who are in the last year of their contract, unless it's a part of a bigger plan and you're bringing someone else who's already, like if you're bringing in Gensel, and I'm just using him as an example because he's the one I want. He's the apple of my eye in the trade deadline. You're going to have a forward that you're going to be able to move on from because someone's going to be pushed out of the lineup. There's other moves you can make after that, but no, Teravainen's not one of them. Let's update the Her Confidence Meter. Every week, about this time, we update the Her Confidence Meter, and I have to admit, I dropped it half a slice. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it over there. You want to go ahead and bring up the two-shot, Graham. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it. If you're watching this on our WRAL Sports fan video stream, you can see it. If not, you're listening on the radio. You're all awesome. But I'll explain it to you. We had gotten as high with the Canes to flirting with Plan the Parade on our meter.
Oh, man.
That's the highest. That's the best. That's, I kind of equate this to like a gas tank gauge on your dashboard. That Plan the Parade is a full tank. We're about, what would you say, six tenths?
Quarter?
6/10? No, I mean, we're a third. So actually, it's not quite. I think it's like 6/10. We're 6/10 full right now, which is 3/5. 3/5 full right now. I think that's fair. We're right on the border of in Rod we trust, and this might be our year. And the reason being, the reason why I knocked down the confidence meter, the Her Confidence Meter, has nothing to do with what the Canes have done. More importantly, it's with what they haven't done. And it's what so many other teams have done, right? The Devils made a move. The Rangers made a move. The Panthers made a move. Like, all of these teams are getting better and adding players. Meanwhile, the Canes aren't. And, right, winning a Stanley Cup is like, it's all relative thing. If you thought you were an 8 out of 10 and you were happy with that, you may have been, I'm just going to make up numbers here. You may have been third in the East at 8 out of 10. Well, you can stay in 8 out of 10, but if a bunch of teams that were 7 out of 10s become 9 out of 10s, now you're 6th in the East, and that's falling, right? It is very much relative to what everybody else is doing. So the Canes' lack of doing anything while others have has knocked down my Her Confidence a little bit. I will say this, though. The trade deadline is not for 22 and a half hours. You can get it back. Make a move, right? Go catch up. Go one-up. Be a one-upper. Be the person at the party who, when you say, I just bought a new car, they go, well, I just got a new boat. Be the one-upper. Hey, I'm moving into a new spot. Yeah, 3-bedroom. Really excited for the extra space. And they go, oh, funny, last year I moved into a 5-bedroom. Be a one-upper. Florida made a deal? Cool. Was it Tarasenko? Awesome. We just one-upped you with blah, 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 blah. You don't have to be friends with these teams you're competing against. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of friends, Luke Kuechly is a friend of the Panthers. He's a family member of the Panthers, right? Can we keep some things in family, Luke Kuechly?
I'm glad we're on the same page about this.
Luke Kuechly absolutely loves Peyton Wilson, NC State linebacker, the Bednarik Award winner, best defensive player in college. Can you just stop saying it so loudly so often? Can you keep some things in the family? Kuechly needs to keep the secret. Here's Kuechly talking with, I think it was Kay Adams, about Peyton Wilson.
You know, I always look at linebackers, and there's a guy that I loved watching for a long time up at NC State, Peyton Wilson.
Okay.
He ran extremely well. He was in the 4.4s, and he's been super productive, and he plays really hard.
I feel like he gets comps to you, which is like crazy. Look at this.
There we go.
They did this on NFL Network. I
way-
hate player comps, by the way.
He's
but this
taller
is it.
than me, and he's faster than me, and he's going to be in the NFL. So I'm jealous of those guys.
Stop it. You say that amongst friends. You say that amongst family. I'm only half kidding because it's not like Peyton Wilson as the best defensive player in college football would, like, it's not like the other teams weren't going to evaluate him. But I do think there's something to be said for keeping the hype low, right? He's got some medical history, some injury things. There's some reasons why teams might, hey, let's put him off our board. And then it's like Kuechly starts praising him. They might go, let's give another look at that guy. Wait, he's bigger and faster than Kuechly, and Kuechly likes him? Kuechly's reputation, I mean, as unbelievably physically as Luke Kuechly was, for whatever reason, his reputation as a player was always more about his brain than his athleticism. It was always about knowing the play before it came, instincts to diagnose a play post-snap, trusting his instincts to go make plays.
Good football IQ.
Good, yeah, high football IQ. So his opinions carry weight on this kind of stuff. Here's what you do. You call up Dan Morgan. You, I don't know, say the secret handshake of, like, I've had a billion tackles. You've had a billion tackles. I mean, I don't know, the decoder ring. Do you have, like, hey, we've been the best linebacker on a Panthers Super Bowl attending team.
Morse code it.
Woo, 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 woo. I don't know, whatever the thing is. You say it, and then you can say, have you checked out Peyton Wilson? I love the kid. I've been watching him for a long time. I've spoken with him. I've mentored him a little bit. You want him on your roster. I mean, NC State should already be a regional advantage thing for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Right? You should know about them more. You should hear about them more. You should interact with them more. You should know better. Right? The Seahawks shouldn't know the guy in Raleigh as well as the team in Charlotte knows the guy in Raleigh. And Peyton Wilson could be exactly what the Panthers are looking for.
I mean, Chandler Zavala, come on. What are we doing? Hype our guy up.
Yeah, in private. Maybe Chandler Zavala is. Ike Ekwonu, hype him up. Maybe he is. Peyton Wilson could be exactly what the Panthers are looking for a few different reasons. One, Luke Kuechly likes him. That should be kind of enough. Two, they need to find contributors not in the first round, right? And probably not with their second-round pick either. But they need to find contributors. They're going to have a lot of holes that they need to fill, and it's usually tough to find somebody in the third, fourth, fifth round that can walk into an NFL offense and play effectively, or an NFL defense and play effectively. Peyton Wilson, due to the medicals and due to his age, might fall to the third. If you can grab him in the third round, I am more than comfortable starting him day one, play one, next year. Secondly, certain franchises have positions that they become like their best teams are always stacked at that position. I talk about the Ravens position. When the Ravens are good, I call them that they're almost always good at the Ravens positions. That means up the middle on defense. Defensive tackle, middle linebacker, safety. When they won their Super Bowl back in whatever it was, 2000, 2001, Sam Adams, defensive tackle, Ray Lewis, middle linebacker, Rod Woodson, safety, right up the middle of the defense. When they won their next Super Bowl, the Flacco Super Bowl, Haloti Ngata, defensive tackle, Ray Lewis, middle linebacker, Ed Reed, safety. Great right up the middle. When the Cowboys are good, they have a number 88 being their number one wide receiver. Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, Dez Bryant, CeeDee Lamb now. When they're good, it's right up the middle. When the Panthers are good, they have great off-ball linebackers. When the Panthers are good, they have great instinctual sideline-to-sideline off-ball linebackers, whether it's Dan Morgan, who should know this very well, or Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, Shaq Thompson to a lesser extent. Peyton Wilson could be that dude. Peyton Wilson ran a 4.43. Peyton Wilson can be that dude, and Luke Kuechly, one of those dudes before the dudes, is saying, hey, look at him. Could work out. By the way, I've been saying, hey, look at him to everybody because, we were in at the ground floor of Peyton Wilson, the NFL prospect, and I feel like I'm still holding that stock. I'm not selling now, even though it's risen a ton since we first bought it.
Yeah, you've been on the Peyton Wilson hype train, respectively so, ever since ACC kickoff happened.
ACC kickoff, he walked by, and it was obviously I've followed NC State, but I hadn't covered them professionally here at 99.9 The Fan. He walked by, and I went, wait a second. That dude that I've seen in the defense when healthy for NC State do what he's done is my height. Normally, the linebackers are not quarterback. I played quarterback in college. He looked like a wildly buff and jacked up quarterback, except he runs around and flies around like a 6'1", 230-pound linebacker. He's 6'4". As soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm in. I'm in. If he stays healthy, I'm in. He stayed healthy this year. He was the best best defensive college football player in the country. And now Luke Kuechly's trying to blow up our spot. We have like a cool little dive bar that has live music on every Friday. We go with our buddies. We can always get a table. It's great food. Drinks are cheap. Good vibes. And somebody is trying to go on social media and be like, hey, everybody, this is the coolest place in the world. Everybody should come here. No. You're going to blow up our spot, Luke. The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. It is Tim Donnelly here, and I'm here to tell you about DraftKings Sportsbook. Calling all North Carolina sports fans. That's state of North Carolina sports fans. If you live here, get ready, because starting March 11th, DraftKings Sportsbook will be live right here in North Carolina. You'll be able to bet on all your favorite sports. I believe, after reading some of the verbiage, there's going to be a chance, maybe not this year, but into the future, for us to bet on things like prop bets on the professional drafts, right? Who's going to go where? Who's going to be a first-round pick? Who's going to be the second pick? So you can put your literal money where your mouth is when it comes to predicting how good guys are and how the NFL is going to draft them. To celebrate sports gambling coming to North Carolina March 11th, new customers who download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today can use code TIMD, T-I-M-D, with no spaces, and score up to $300 in bonus bets when you place a $5 bet once they go live. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code TIMD to get up to $300 in bonus bets once mobile sports betting goes live, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, coming soon to North Carolina on March 11th. Once again, that is code TIMD, no spaces, and the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Maximum $300 in bonus bets, not available for use until March 11th, 2024. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan will continue a little conversation with Lauren Ingram. She is a freshman on the Duke volleyball team who has a very conflicted weekend coming up because her brother is Harrison Ingram, one of the stars of the UNC basketball team. What's life like on campus for Lauren Ingram this week? She'll tell you coming up next.
Get ready for spring at Westlake Ace with the best brands like Steel, Ego, Scotts, and more. Right now, select Steel products are up to $60 off. And don't forget, Ace Rewards members save money every season. This month, 20-pound bags of Ace Birdseed are just $11. Visit our 2 new locations at the corner of Rogers Lane and New Bern Avenue, or on Leesville Road in Pinecrest Point. Westlake Ace Hardware now has 5 convenient locations in Raleigh.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Adam Golden studio with my man Dallas Sproul from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. We always talk about tons of stuff like roofing and siding, but I want to talk about my favorite drink at the Aluminum Company, the Easy Breeze. It just sounds very tropical.
Well, at the Aluminum Company, the Easy Breeze is a way to convert your screen porch into something that's more usable. Problem with screen porches is in the spring you get the pollen, and in the wintertime it's too cold, and you don't really get to use that screen porch as much as you'd like to.
You're talking to somebody that does a podcast from his screened-in porch, and it was only 20-some-odd degrees a few weeks ago.
You cut the heat on, you have one of those little box heaters out there, maybe grab you a cup of coffee and a blanket, and you set up, and that's a good day outside.
I had a cup of something. Dallas Sproul, the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, for the Easy Breeze and everything else for the exterior of your home. You can hit them up online, aluminumcompany.com.
Is your heating and air system ready for all weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
Godsmack Vibes Tour. Live and acoustic. Friday, March 8th, Deepak Durham with special guest Bastion de Cruz. An intimate evening of music and untold stories with Godsmack. On sale now at livenation.com.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loans, no personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox, my friends over at Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it all happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes. With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for that home improvement project you want to get done this spring. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Welcome back into The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Connecting with us now on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, Lauren Ingram. She is a 6'1" freshman outside hitter on the Duke volleyball team, and this has to be a pretty conflicting week for Lauren because she is also the sister of Harrison Ingram, 6'7", starting forward on the UNC basketball team, and UNC is coming to Cameron Indoor to play against Duke this Saturday. Lauren, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course. The first thing I want to do is dive into the sibling nature of you and Harrison's relationship. If we take out volleyball and basketball and assume, you guys are pretty good at those, who's winning at the other sports? Who's winning at tennis? Who's winning at golf when you guys are there? Some other competition when you guys compete?
So when we were little, we used to always play ping pong, which isn't exactly a most popular sport, but it was very popular in our household. And I would have to say it was pretty even most of the time, but the last time we played, I beat him all 4 times. We also used to swim and race each other, and he would beat me on those. I can't lie. He has a lot farther wingspan than I do. But I honestly say it's pretty even between us. We're very competitive, so we take it way too serious.
What was that like as the younger sibling? Like, were you getting roughhoused with?
Yeah, I was pretty much always the underdog, but I think I held my own. I think my oldest brother, Will, he kind of liked to stay out of it because he thought he was too mature and he was just focused on other things. So it was just me and Harrison mainly just competing against each other. And literally, I would have to say everything we do, we would literally compete on who can put the dishes away faster. So it was definitely competitive nature between me and Harrison for a long time.
There are parents everywhere that want to talk to your parents about how do you get your kids to compete on who puts the dishes away faster. That is a Jedi mind trick that your parents had you two competing in.
Yeah, looking back on it, I actually don't really know why I cared so much, but anything to beat him.
It's the competition thing. It's worked out well for you. You're on the Duke volleyball team. We're talking with Lauren Ingram, freshman on the Duke volleyball team, as I just mentioned, also the sister of Harrison Ingram, who will be playing a big role in the men's basketball UNC at Duke game on Saturday. How do you two end up, just a couple miles apart in North Carolina from Texas? He obviously had to use the transfer portal, but was it always a plan to end up this close to each other?
Yeah, so I actually always knew that I wanted to go to Duke. I had like 3 schools that were like my dream schools when I was growing up, and Duke was one of them. So they were always on my list. But I don't think Harrison ever, if you were to tell me that a year ago, if you were to tell me that Harrison would be playing basketball at Chapel Hill, I wouldn't have believed you. I think everything honestly just was divine timing. He was very set on Stanford throughout high school. I mean, he was taking visits, but I think he wanted to go to Stanford, and then it obviously didn't work out. So he just started he went in the transfer portal and was just exploring all of his options. And then he came to me and he was like, the UNC coaches are coming to the house for a visit. And I was like, oh, wow. Like that's not okay. Like we can't go to rival schools, but I still kept an open mind, and they came for a visit, and I met them. They were really nice, and he took his official visit out there this summer, and he loved it. So I was happy for him either way, but I think he really just wanted to we both wanted to go to the programs that we felt the most connected with the coaches and the team, and we both just honestly found our perfect fit.
So let's dive into that dynamic, right? You acknowledged that you're close siblings that went to opposite ends of a pretty fierce rivalry. What's it like on campus as the sister of a UNC star, particularly your freshman years? You're trying to kind of establish yourself on campus.
Some of my close friends like to tease me about it and tell me that Harrison chose the wrong school and that Harrison's a traitor because, like, I committed to Duke first and then he entered the transfer portal and then he committed to UNC. But I like to laugh it off. I know that we're both doing our best and we're both successful in our own rights, and I'm always happy for him. But it's definitely hard sometimes because sometimes I don't know what to say because I always support him, but it is tough that he has to go to that school.
Where are you sitting on Saturday?
So I'm sitting right behind his bench. I'm not completely sure though.
And like, have you chosen the gear you're going to wear? There's allegiances that people are going to be looking for.
Yeah, so I've actually thought a lot about this past week, obviously, as you could imagine, and I feel like I need to go neutral. I feel like I can't.
You're gonna wear like green or something. You're going full neutral.
I don't know if I should wear white or I should wear like purple, or because I feel like I play in Cameron. Like that's that's the gym that I play at, and it's my home territory. And wearing his jersey would just feel so wrong. But I always support him, so maybe I'm thinking of just wearing his merch that just says like 55 on it, to just like let everyone know that I still don't like UNC, but I love my brother, obviously.
Lauren Ingram, freshman on the Duke volleyball team, sister of Harrison Ingram, who's going to be one of the main contributors for UNC in the Duke-UNC game in Cameron on Saturday. Are you worried at all because here, like, I know some buddies that played as a visiting basketball player in Cameron Indoor, and they were surprised how much the Cameron Crazies were able to learn about them and kind of use against them with some chants and some trash talk. Are you leery to, like, talk about your brother at all to anybody, knowing it might end up in a chant or something like that?
Yeah, people have warned me about that, and I didn't really believe it until a couple weeks ago. Apparently, the student section, or not the student section, the Cameron Crazies that got the tickets to the UNC game. I didn't, because I didn't decide to tent, but all the people who ended up getting tickets, they come up with this sheet, and it's a bunch of, like, chants and jokes about different players. And this guy actually asked me if I had any, like, things that I would say to him to, like, throw him off, and I actually couldn't think of anything.
Now, is that you actually couldn't think of anything, or you weren't about to give them ammunition against your brother?
I could have thought of a few things that I used to say to him when we were little, but I would feel too bad. I can't do that to him. He also would have known, if he had heard that in the stands, he would have known it was from me, and I don't know if he would appreciate that very much.
Lauren, thank you again for taking the time. One more question for you. We're big fans of your brother on this show. I've made a habit of kind of giving him some nicknames. I think his versatility is a huge contributor to their success. So I've called him the amorphous blob. I've called him the shapeshifter. I
love that.
I was wondering if he has any nicknames, maybe from his time back home, or anything else that we could add to the list. We kind of have a running list of nicknames for Harrison.
I don't have anything too creative, but he loves to trash talk. He will talk trash anytime he can get, so we just call him the trash talker. And his middle name is Claiborne, so sometimes we call him that because he doesn't really like his middle name that much. So we call him Claiborne, but nothing too unique. I kind of like your nicknames better.
The clay is perfect, right? It's moldable. It's versatile. We can do something with that.
Oh, yeah. That's a great point, actually.
There we go. Lauren, thank you very much. I'm sure it's going to be stressful for you on Saturday, so try to enjoy it, and good luck with your volleyball career.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good rest of your night.
Once again, that's Lauren Ingram, freshman on the Duke volleyball team, and her brother, Harrison Ingram, will be visiting the place that she plays her volleyball, Cameron Indoor, as part of the UNC basketball team on Saturday. It's a pretty big game. Matter of fact, it's so big that we're going to talk about it, that game coming up in the starting five next right here on The Drive.
Hey, it's Dennis Cox. I've teamed up with my good friends over at Underdog Fantasy to help you play like a champion. And to be a champion, you must play like one. Always your coaches. Got to have a game plan going into games. Well, you have to have a game plan as well. Create a budget that you can afford, but also make sure that you stick with it. Stick with the game plan. Make sure as well that gaming is about fun and entertainment. Yes, not just about making money, but if it's no longer fun, you got to make sure that you get the help and seek the help when necessary. I know the added value that Underdog brings. I love watching the Carolina Hurricanes. I love watching NBA games, college basketball, you name it. Underdog Fantasy brings that added value to watching games. Now you're ready to play like a champion. This message has been brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina.
He scores! Dmitry Orlov picks the corner, and the Canes take a 2-1 lead.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Second chance, they score! Jesper Fast knocks it home.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Get Spectrum One with Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for just $49.99 a month. Plus free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line. Ask how you can get a Visa Rewards card up to $500. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all with Spectrum One. Go to Spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's me, your future you. You made bad credit card moves. Got no rewards to use. Ugh. Should've compared cards with the nerds and got the cash back you deserve. Now you have to stand to see your favorite band while your friends all got VIP wristbands. Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find top credit cards today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet. Finance smarter.
Two of country music's finest. Justin Moore.
Somebody else will find those.
Randy Houser. The Country Round Here Tonight Tour. Friday, September 6th. Red Hat Amphitheater, Raleigh.
Come on now, we're running out of moonlight.
On sale Friday at livenation.com.
He can't even play the hook.
Justin Moore, Randy Houser, live.
Tim Donnelly here, and I want to let you know March is a critical time to check your home's windows. Call the pros at Window Nation. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 windows free. Plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now.
Bobby Joe absolutely hated her job.
Can't hate that job any more than I do.
So, time for one of those fancy tech schools?
No, I could never afford that. I'm going to Sharky's.
Sharky's?
Yeah, no better place to relax. Great food, cold beer, good whiskey, darts, billiards.
So now you love your job?
No, I still hate my job, but I loves me some Sharky's. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, everybody loves Sharky's. Sharky's Place, one of the best neighborhood bars in the world. 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
You've heard about the thousands of patients finally getting relief from chronic joint pain thanks to QC Kinetics non-invasive treatments. And here's one who was determined to avoid surgery. Meet Vicky.
The orthopedic surgeon said, well, you're going to need knee replacement sooner rather than later. I kept hearing commercials about QC Kinetics and thought, well, I'm going to check them out first.
QC Kinetics has treated over 20,000 patients like Vicky around the country. People who were told they needed surgery but chose a more natural, less invasive approach that uses regenerative treatments to help heal and restore painful joints with no downtime.
If QC Kinetics had not been what I expected, I would have gone through with the surgery, but I got so much relief, am now pretty much pain-free that I don't have to have the surgery.
Before going under the knife, you need to check out QC Kinetics. The consultation is free. Call today.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. A nice day out there today, and the weather stays quiet overnight tonight. We'll have partly cloudy skies with a low of 49. We'll have partly sunny skies on Friday. It's mild with a high of 66. And then a WRL weather alert day Saturday with widespread showers and thunderstorms expected.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones closes the day up 130 points at 38,791.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting 5, and with that, we start with number 5. I think this qualifies. By the way, Graham, I'm switching up the order on this one. I think this qualifies as a little bit of breaking news, and I will attribute Adam Gold, our very own, who hosts the Adam Gold Show prior to this one every weekday, because he's the first place I saw it. He may have been first on it. Just 3 minutes ago, Adam tweeted out, "Will feel like a season debut, but Frederick Anderson will get the net for the first time since November 2nd, 2023."
What? Tonight?
That's. I read the exact tweet. That's how it reads to me.
The Great Dane. Freddie Anderson in goal
Anderson
tonight.
in goal tonight.
Do you have a button down? Do you have a colored shirt? I can't go to a Carolina Hurricanes shirt and sit in press row with a Grateful Dead shirt on. I need to change clothes.
We'll find something for you.
I got to go now.
Freddie Anderson in goal.
Matter of fact, Tim, I'll see you.
Yeah, just I'll run the board myself. At home versus Montreal tonight. Canes. Here's the deal. There's a lot of action, a lot of buzz around the Carolina Hurricanes right now. Jake Gensel is a name we've talked about. Matter of fact, I'm looking at ESPN right now, ESPN 2, I guess that is. And the headline across the bottom says, most likely landing spots for Jake Gensel. So everybody is talking about that. There is a spin zone where you could say if Freddie Anderson comes back and plays great hockey from this point forward, if being out of the game or not on the ice since November 2nd not only didn't make him rusty, but maybe has made him rested for the stretch run, could be one of the biggest additions in the NHL around the trade deadline, and you wouldn't have to give up anything to do it. You just have to have been patient.
This does feel like a trade scenario, except it isn't.
It's like, how is this going to affect Pyotr Kochetkov? Freddie Anderson coming back.
We've just gotten so used to Freddie just not being able to play.
Freddie Anderson, he's been practicing for a while now. He's been a part of a couple morning skates, things like that, but he hasn't been active. Obviously, with Ronta being activated and then waived today, there's an expectation that Freddie's back, and Freddie is back. According to Adam Gold, he'll be in the net. I think at home versus Montreal is a nice little on-ramp, right? That is a game to get your skates wet rather than get your feet wet. It's Freddie Anderson back in goal for the Canes.
This also helps because the Hurricanes have back-to-backs this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, so it gives Kochetkov some time to, still shake off the rust from last Saturday's loss, and then Ronta, who just got activated again. So this could be the perfect storm, no pun intended.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes Freddie, Kochetkov, Freddie.
Just to give Freddie the reps?
I mean, it's Freddie Anderson. You're paying him $4 million.
Yeah, that's true.
With the waiving and everything else going on with Ronta, I don't know if he's going to be in the plans much. Here's what it is. For the first time, really all year, this is the roster they were building this offseason, right? You forget how long ago Freddie Anderson was playing. Orlov had not yet settled in to the system.
Gosh.
Bunting, I mean, they were obviously out there playing, but it takes you a while to get used to how the Canes play. Orlov wasn't there yet. It had taken him 15 to 20 games. Bunting was still figuring it out. Svetch was still not 100% with the injury. This is a long time ago. This is the first time that the Canes will be full, right? That the Canes will be whole. And if you go back to the preseason, the Canes were the number one betting favorite to win the Stanley Cup. They are not that anymore. They have not played like that this season, but they also, part of that those hype, part of that hype and part of those expectations is Freddie Anderson being in goal. Pyotr Kochetkov has played very well for long stretches this year. He's going to have to continue to be an asset for them, but if goalies are like pitchers, are like edge rushers, are like three-point shooters, you can't have too many good ones. If Freddie's elite and Pyotr's elite, let them figure it out.
We're so back, baby.
We're so back. But Freddie, again, according to Adam Gold, I'll read the tweet one more time for those of you that are maybe missed it a second ago. At 4:58 p.m. today, Adam Gold, our very own from here on 99.9 The Fan, tweeted out, "Will feel like a season debut, but Frederick Anderson will get the net for the first time since November 2nd, 2023. Although I do have to give Adam a little bit of Adam was typing fast there. The tweet actually says, and I didn't catch this the first time, November 2nd, 2033. But I don't think there's any time travel involved. I think 2023 was the goal there. But again, that's Adam Gold on the reporting. That's number 5. That's a big number 5. Our starting 5 is going to have to ramp up here to get everything rolling. That's a leadoff hitter that took one 500 yards or 500 feet to dead center. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
How about we go to the best rivalry in college basketball next? Is that a nice 2-hole hitter? UNC at Duke. Saturday. The week continues. Let's hear what John Shire had to say about his veteran point guard, Jeremy Roach, veteran combo guard, Jeremy Roach's impact on the Duke basketball program.
Yeah, I'm just, I can't tell you how proud I am of him. He's, I said this the other day, but I'll double down on it. I don't know if there's a guy in our program's history, from the timing that he's been here and what he's seen, that's as important with the impact that he's made. You think about the transition with Coach K and myself, but then you think about, you go first 2 years, the spectrum. You miss a tournament and there's the pandemic with nobody in here. But then you go to a Final Four the next year. You win an ACC championship as a junior. He's played with a lot of different players, a lot of great players.
He's played, Jeremy Roach, in 124 games. 124 games.
He's been around the block a few times.
Armando Bacot, R.J. Davis, a boatload of games.
Armando Bacot, 162nd.
Which
or
is
162.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. By the way, I believe Roach and R.J. Davis have eligibility if they want it. They have their COVID year if they want to come back. But I think there's almost 2 games going on between Duke and UNC. And we talked about, you can go find on the podcast, all those sorts of things. The 5 most pivotal players in the Duke UNC game. We ranked them. We did all of that. I want to see how the veterans play. Meaning those 3 I just mentioned, R.J. Davis, Armando Bacot, Jeremy Roach, who have all been in at least 8 Duke UNC games. More, I actually believe, in all of those cases. And then there's the guys who haven't. Then there's the McCains, the Cadeaus, even the Harrison Ingrams, right? The Cormac Ryan, some of these guys that are newer to it, the Sean Stewarts. I don't even know which one's better, right? Like, the young guys might, I don't want to say ignorant, but there is a naivete to a young player who's like, I don't know how nervous I should be. I've heard the Marlins World Series teams talk about it like that. The Marlins have a couple World Series that were young guys lightning in a bottle, and when they look back on it, right, after going on and playing 10 years in the bigs, they're all like, yeah, we should have been way more nervous than we were. We didn't know that you didn't go to the World Series like every 3 years of your career. We should have been way more nervous. So maybe someone like Cadeau or McCain or Ingram or some of these guys, they're just like, hey, you know what? Duke Carolina, this is kind of an interesting deal. Or the other side would be the veterans. Maybe can you get comfortable in a game like that where you played 7, 8, 9, 10 times against this team and the world makes a big deal out of it, but you're like, you win some, you lose some. We've done them both. I think there's almost 2 games within a game going on.
No, I mean, I kind of agree with you. This is what I always love about this rivalry is that there's some sort of storyline that always comes into equation, whether it's Zion Williamson, the shoe game, Coach K's final game. The list goes on. But this time around, it's almost like we get the last dance, quote unquote, for the veteran players such as, we know for sure Armando Bacot, Jeremy Roach, R.J. Davis, as you mentioned. Likely. They still have some eligibility, but it's likely. It could even be likely for Kyle Filipowski and Tyrese Proctor. But then within that, you get kind of the next generation of this rivalry between Jared McCain and Elliot Cadeau that we're going to see. I feel like that matchup is going to play a big part in this rivalry as well.
And I almost I want to see McCain against Davis. I want to see Cadeau against Roach. I want to see the intergenerational matchups, right? Because you just don't see them that often in college basketball anymore. When you get to the big games, it feels like the veterans, teams either have veterans or young guys. They very rarely have the blend.
The veterans might just be a sophomore that just decided to come back.
Hey, it felt like Kyle Filipowski, Mark Mitchell, and Tyrese Proctor were old heads earlier this year for Duke.
Yeah.
They're sophomores. North Carolina is a bit more of a variety of ages or eligibilities, but also, people have forgotten because UNC has been so good this year. Hubert Davis kind of rebuilt the roster outside of R.J. Davis and Armando Bacot. The transfer portal was their best friend this offseason. Obviously, Cadeau, freshman, they've got some guys that are new to this whole thing. And I would even say this. I would say the year-end UNC Duke game is a level above the mid-season UNC Duke game, right? It's somebody's senior night. It's going into the ACC tournament. An ACC regular season title is on the line. UNC has clinched a share of the title. If Duke wins, they split it. If UNC wins, they get it outright. This one's going to be electric. And it's all happening on Saturday. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9, starting 5. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
If you are a safety in the NFL, like a free safety, a strong safety in the NFL, there's a good chance today is not a good day for you. The Panthers are going against the grain in safety spending because everybody else is cutting safeties. Everybody else. Over $100 million in cap space has been made across the league just by cutting safeties. You can't combine, as of right before this show started, so who knows who's been cut in the last 2 hours and 15 minutes. You couldn't combine any other 2 positions to reach the cap savings that came just from safeties. Jamal Adams, Simmons from Denver, both starting safeties from Buffalo. All of these guys were cut over $100 million in cap savings just at the safety position. So I thought, you know what? Let's go look at what the Panthers are doing. Von Bell, Xavier Woods, still on the Panthers, still on the roster. Von Bell's situation is such that he has a $10.9 million cap hit, and they'd only save $1 million by cutting him, so I don't see him going anywhere. Xavier Woods' cap hit is $7.7 million. They'd save a little over $4 million by cutting him. I don't know if you do that either because Woods is a contributor. This is another example of the mess that Dan Morgan and Dave Canales have inherited from the previous regime in Carolina. Everyone else in the league, with their actions, right? You can lie with words. They don't lie with actions. Everyone else in the league, with their actions, is saying safeties are expendable and they are not worth using cap space on. The Panthers are locked into using cap space on their safeties when they desperately need money to spend on other positions. The only players with a bigger cap hit next year for Carolina than Von Bell are Taylor Moton, who's a bookend tackle and will likely have a restructuring of his deal to lower that cap hit, Brian Burns and Derek Brown. That's it. So everyone else in the league is cutting their safeties and saving cap money. And the Panthers have the 4th highest cap hit on the team as a safety, and there's really no way to get out of it. They could save $1 million by moving on, $1 million out of 11, essentially. That's not how you draw it up, right? You don't want to be the guy sitting there spending all of his money on something that everyone else is trying to sell, and you have to pay top dollar for it. And by the way, I like Von Bell. I like Xavier Woods. I think they're both good players. I liked Jeremy Chin last year. I thought they had a strong safety room because Jeremy Chin was kind of that hybrid. I liked that room, but I also like a lot of the safeties that are going to be on the market and looking for a job because everyone in the league is saying safety isn't important. It's becoming more and more obvious where the value is in the NFL. The analytics must be telling teams, obviously, it's on the edges. You need edge rushers, you need outside linebackers, you need corners. On offense, you need tackles, you need receivers, you need quarterbacks. It's on the edges. Panthers are paying safeties. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Nicole Tepper, David Tepper's wife and the owner of the Carolina Panthers, spoke with Kay Adams about their tenure owning the Carolina Panthers, the 6 years, the wins, the losses, the whole scope of it. And she was asked what is their proudest moment over the 6 years owning the Carolina Panthers. And this was Nicole Tepper's response.
We've embraced the city. I think what's great about being here in Charlotte and having this platform is being able to open up the stadium to 40 ticketed events. I mean, for the city and the state of Charlotte, for the people here and the economic impact it had. So for me, for Dave, like that's really one of the most proudest moments in the 6 years. I think before there was only 10 to 13 events here. So, I mean, think about that. It's amazing.
Wow. Whoa.
What are we doing here?
It's almost like the more I go back and listen to this, it's almost like I could hear her hesitate, almost saying, is this the proudest? Oh, whatever. It's like what you assume. It's like you compared it earlier, driving off the cliff. Should we take this? Whatever.
Okay. Oh, one second. One second.
One second.
Let me see if this is anything that is coming across.
Hold on.
I mean, it's kind of something. It's not. This is the second time I got okey-doked here on the show.
It's trade related.
So a press release was just sent into my email. Canes acquire.
Oh.
How long should I let this linger? 6th round pick from the Leafs.
Yay.
Don Waddell, president and general manager of the National Hockey League's Carolina Hurricanes, today announced that the team has acquired a 6th round pick in the 2026, or a 6th rounder in the 2026 NHL draft from the Toronto Maple Leafs in exchange for the draft rights to defenseman Cade Weber.
Who?
Cade Weber.
I shouldn't be that.
He has played 30 college games with Boston University this season. He is 6'7", 216 pounds.
Well, I mean, we have plenty of defensemen, so.
Well, I have been saying, make a deal. I need a trade. I need something.
This is indeed a deal.
It is a deal. It is a trade.
And a trade.
6th rounder in 2026. I'll decide if I like this deal in 2028 when we know if Weber is anything of worth and we know if that 2026 pick turned into anything. Maybe not. I'll let you know in 2030 if I like it. Going back to Nicole Tepper's comments, though. Proudest moment the Teppers have had is bringing 30, 40 paid events to the Bank of America Stadium. That's not the goal. It's good for business. It's not the goal. That's like saying we run a restaurant. We have not been making good food. We have not been making our customers happy with our service, but we do take the leftover food and we have a pretty sweet compost pile in the back, and it's making really good soil for our garden. It's like, that's great. Happy for you. That's not the goal. That's not what you're trying to do. That's not how you should be measuring success. We have a football stadium supposed to house a good football team. The goal is to play good football and win games. But, after the football season, we do bring in some concerts and things, and we it's good for our garden. No.
The health department gave us a C- on the last grade in, but hey, the play area is pretty nice.
But we've started shutting down on Tuesdays and renting out the space for fantasy football drafts, and we're making a little extra coin. That's not what a restaurant should be judging as a proud moment. Right? The business across the street has an overflow problem in their parking lot, so they're kicking us a couple $100 to use the last row for their burgeoning business. That's not what the goal is.
Well, it's like you mentioned earlier. It's business-minded people answering sports-minded questions.
It's business-minded people who are looking for a way to spin. Football's going bad. Let's not talk about football.
Let's zig when everybody else is zagging.
Let's make the shareholders all pay attention to how good this side business is. Maybe that'll distract them from our main business not being great.
Got to sell tickets to Garth Brooks and Luke Combs this summer somehow.
We brought Beyonce.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what she should have said. What is the proudest moment of the last 6 years? Well, we've been in the community.
We brought Queen Bee to the Queen City.
When Beyonce went crazy in love, heart skipped a beat.
Drunk in Love?
Do you not know what Crazy in Love is?
That's one of her other songs. See, this just shows the gap in our age. Drunk in Love, Crazy in Love.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
no.
I know the song, just not the name of it.
Are you aware that Beyonce was in a band called Destiny's Child before
yes.
she... Okay.
Okay.
I just had to double check. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. The NHL trade deadline tomorrow, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll talk about it here on this show. And actually, let's break the news again that just popped into our inbox. Canes acquire 6th-round pick from the Leafs. The Toronto got the draft rights to Cade Weber, who was a 6th-round or for a 6th-round pick in 2026. Cade Weber is a player at Boston University at the moment. He was the Meadville, Pennsylvania native was selected by the Hurricanes in the 4th round of the 2019 NHL draft. So the Canes took a 4th rounder and in 7 years will have turned it into a 6th rounder. We're getting nitpicky here. That's a nothing burger trade. But when there's nothing else to talk about because the Canes haven't brought in a scorer, they haven't brought in any of the big names that we've heard them linked to, we have to make conversation out of them acquiring a 6th rounder for a former 4th round pick.
Hey, look at this. I mean, this is twice now in the show where we've kind of been teasing the conversation about Canes trades, and something has happened. So maybe the 545 segment, we might have to do some rearranging and just hit on it one more time for maybe third time's the charm. I don't know.
We're hitting on it right now. Jake Gensel is still out there. He is still out there. Here's Elliot Friedman, who covers the league as a whole, talking about Carolina, Pittsburgh, Vancouver, and everything that goes into the Jake Gensel trade market.
There's this thing about Carolina. They don't believe in paying the most for rentals. But sooner or later, I think you have to do it to score and win the Stanley Cup. Last year, they lost the Eastern Conference Final because they just simply couldn't score against Florida. At some point in time, you have to take the chance. I think Carolina's got a really good team. And I believe if they do want to put some of their good prospects in there, those are the kinds of players that Pittsburgh wants. So I do think Vancouver was absolutely interested. I'm just not convinced that they are going to be able to be the top of the list for Gensel. I think, like I said, I think Carolina, I think Colorado tried. I think the Rangers have been around it. And I just don't know if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow morning or there's anyone else I'm missing. I'm always assuming, Biz, there's someone I'm missing.
With every second that passes, I'm preparing myself more and more to be underwhelmed at the trade deadline tomorrow at 3.
I just keep refreshing the monitor every 5 seconds.
Anything? How about now?
We have 2 podcast episodes up.
How about now? Anything? We've all been there, right? Just clicking the refresh.
Bueller.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need a couple of contestants for the numbers game. And as promised yesterday, we have once again tickets to the NASCAR Cookout 400 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia on April 7th that will go to the winner. A pair of tickets to the NASCAR Cookout 400 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia goes to whoever wins the numbers game. To win the numbers game, you have to play the numbers game. To play the numbers game, you have to call in now. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Capital Buy Sell Trade. I know a lot of people are thinking, I got to get the fit right for the springtime, got to get the fits right for the summer. Best way to put that all together, it's with a fresh pair of sneakers. Head to Capital Buy Sell Trade, the largest sneaker store in the state of North Carolina. That's a fact, folks. They have over 1,000 sneakers on the wall at Capital Buy Sell Trade. And you know what? You got that refund check money from the government? Splurge on yourself. Capital Buy Sell Trade. Follow them on Instagram at CapitalBST919. Let them know Dennis sent you.
It's madness.
Davis, the man with a hot hand, accelerates to his right now. Step back, 3 on Cleveland. Ring that. He cannot miss.
Total madness.
Ben Johnson, shot fake for the win. Yes, sir.
Absolute madness.
Bruce Thornton ahead. Potter at the buzzer. Got it.
The Triangle's home for college basketball's national championship. 99.9 The Fan.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
This is Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending in Cary, with two exciting announcements. Back in 1950, my father and uncle moved to Detroit and opened Miller Brothers Realty, a business they ran for the next 50 years. Fast forward to 1996, and I moved my family to Raleigh and opened D&J Mortgage, a company I'd named after my children. And today I'm happy to announce my sons Daniel and Justin will be leading Miller Lending as we head towards 100 years in real estate and lending, all the while following the one basic principle I learned growing up in that environment. Always treat your customer as you'd want to be treated yourself. Now, while Miller Lending has long been associated with our popular no closing cost program, I'm also excited to announce the opening of our purchase money division with a strong emphasis toward helping first-time homebuyers navigate the mortgage process. So whether you're buying a new home or simply refinancing the home you're in, call Miller Lending and experience the benefit of working with a locally owned family business. In Cary, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146.
What is a home? Most of us think of our homes as a place of safety and comfort for our families. My name is Keith Gregory, Vice President with Home Exteriors by Baker Roofing, but more importantly, a homeowner like you. We treat every home as the sanctuary it is, transforming and preserving homes with roofing, siding, window, door, and gutter services. I would like to invite you to join the thousands who have trusted us with their homes. Visit bakerroofing.com for a free consultation. That's bakerroofing.com.
Hey everybody, Tim Donnelly here, and I want you to look down at your wrist right now. If you don't see an absolutely awesome watch that you can be proud of and want to show off, you want to listen to me about what I'm about to tell you when it comes to Fox & Bailey Watch Shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. You can get yourself an Omega, a brand new Omega from their Omega Boutique, which is the second largest of its kind in the entire country. That means Speedmasters, the model of Omega that is worn on the moon by multiple different astronauts. They call it the Moonwatch. Or something like a Seamaster. You may have seen it on a very particular spy movie that everyone is very familiar with. They also have pre-owned Rolexes over in their watch shop. They have all of these different brands. I have a G-Shock on my wrist as we speak right now. You can get one there. It's all at Fox & Bailey, located inside the Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location. You should have something you're proud of on your wrist. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Today we have Martinsville Speedway, NASCAR Cookout 400 tickets going to the winner. That's in Virginia on April 7th. The contestants are Tom and Clayton, and is that Nas? Nas and Fayetteville, the Ville represented. They will be participating. As always, we have to choose who goes first by asking a question and seeing who the winner is, and picking our picking our favorite answer. And with a big game coming up on Saturday, I want to be clear here. I'm not picking whose answer I think is right. I'm picking whose answer I think is best. So it could be entertaining, it could be well researched, whatever it is. We'll start with Tom and Clayton. Tom, Who's going to win, Duke or North Carolina on Saturday?
North Carolina.
And why?
Why? Better depth, better guard play.
All right. I like it. Short and sweet. Nas in the Ville, same question to you. Who's going to win on Saturday, Duke or North Carolina?
I got to go with Duke, and the reason why I'm going with Duke is their coach. I like the lineage of great Duke coaches, and I like the history of Duke versus Carolina.
Both very very solid answers. I'm going to go with Tom because it was short and sweet and to the point. But also I kind of agree with the reasoning a little bit there as far as guard play. I like R.J. Davis. I'm not sure Hubert Davis and John Shire. There's a definitive kind of one-upsmanship there yet. They're just so early that I don't know. So we'll go Tom and Clayton. Tom, you get to go first, but don't worry, Nas, sit on the line and you'll have your chance to win the tickets. Tom, are you there?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and pick your category out of these options. NFL, Steve. They're all players named Steve. NFL, good. All players whose last name starts with M. And NBA, under 35. Those are all jersey numbers that are 35 or less. And NHL, Canes and Whalers only.
NFL Steves.
NFL Steves. All right, as you heard me say, these are all NFL players with the first name Steve. I will give you the name and the team. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds will be on the clock. You do have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Steve Young, San Francisco 49ers.
8.
Correct. Steve Largent, Seattle Seahawks.
80.
Correct.
80.
Steve McNair, Tennessee Titans.
9.
Correct. Steve Atwater, Denver Broncos.
27.
Correct. Steve Tasker, Buffalo Bills.
89.
Correct. Mark the time. Mark the time.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. That was flying. That is our second 5 for 5 of the week. That's pretty darn good. Tom, you're good at this, aren't you? You knew you were going to be good at this.
Hey, you just happened to hit ones that I really knew right off the top of my head pretty quick.
Yeah, the only one that there was any hesitation was Steve McNair, but the other four, smooth with it. You knew your Steves.
You even repeated a number. You were that confident.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. Sit on the line. We'll see if it holds up, but I like your chances. Nas in Fayetteville, are you there?
I'm going to go NHL.
You're okay. I like the confidence. I will read the player and the team. I will say the team, even though we know it's Canes and Whalers only, for a make sure it's fair, right? Because I had to read the team for the other category. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. If you do have one pass if you need it, but you need to get all 5, and it needs to be in a faster time to win. So any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Andrei Svechnikov, Carolina Hurricanes.
37.
Correct. Riley Nash, Carolina Hurricanes.
20.
Correct. Jack Drury, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Correct. Corey Stillman, Carolina Hurricanes.
61.
Correct. Patrick Dwyer, Carolina Hurricanes.
39.
Correct.
15 seconds.
Holy, that might be the record. I don't know. We'll have to look into the. We just went 10 for 10, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
I don't think we've ever done that before.
You're not beating me in NHL.
Goodness gracious, Nas, that was unreal.
Yeah, you're not beating me in NHL trivia or NASCAR trivia for that matter.
Well,
I am shocked.
You do realize that I speak for a living and I've been doing 3 hours of radio a day for a long time, and I'm kind of tongue-tied right now. I don't know how to react to this. I feel horrendous for Tom because –
Can we get Tom on?
Tom, are you there?
I'm still there. Hey,
Tom.
You did a heck of a job. Congratulations to Nas. He did a terrific job.
I
like the sportsmanship.
I can't imagine how it feels to put up a perfect score and not get the W. But all I can say is Tom, please call in and play again and see if you can match it.
Oh, I will. Hey, I got beat by somebody who knew their stuff and got beat fair and square. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, like I said, I tipped my cap to him. He did a heck of a job.
I don't say this lightly. Tom, you might be like top 5 fastest 5 for 5 we've ever gotten, and you got beat by 5 seconds, which is just, like you said, tip your cap. So Congrats, Tom.
Hey, you do your best, and if somebody beats you, you tip your cap to him. He did a heck of a job. Congratulations to him.
I love it. Thank you very much, Tom, for playing. Hopefully you had a good time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So Naz, you said you're not only a giant NHL fan, you're a big NASCAR fan?
Oh, I'm a big NASCAR guy.
All right. Well, you just won tickets to the Cookout 400.
Thank you so much.
Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. So keep your calendar open for April 7th, all right?
All right. How do we get in touch?
Actually, just sit on the line right now. Graham will pick up the phone off air, and you guys can talk, and he gets some information from you to make sure you get the tickets, all right?
10-4.
There you go. That was as business-like of a interaction as I think I've had in a while. Nas was like, "Give me the." Goodness gracious! He was like, "Give me the NASCAR," or now I'm all twisted up. Give me the NHL. We'll make it work, and then I'll be darned if he didn't make that work. Very impressed. 10 for 10. I'll tell you right now, there's pressure on whoever calls in tomorrow. You can't follow up a 10 for 10 day with an offer. There's pressure on whoever calls in tomorrow. I'm Tim Donnelly. I want to tell you about my friends over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Coach Pete has over 31 years in the financial arena and has never had a complaint. That's pretty darn good, isn't it? His firm is a 100% independent and conflict-free fiduciary planning firm, Capital Financial Advisory Group, LLC, and it's located right here in the Triangle. We talk about Coach Pete looking at your retirement, like how athletes look at a game, right? And he gets to be your coach. So he's making sure you have an aggressive offense, but also a defense protecting your money. So you can go maximize your income in retirement while also remaining confident and worry-free that your money is taken care of and protected. It's all happening at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Be sure to give them a call. Call today, mention me, Tim, or text Tim to 600-700. The number to call is 800-661-7383. It's Coach Pete and Capital Financial Advisory Group. Make sure they know we sent you. It'll be worth your call. I'll put it that way. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm making some campaign arguments, a stump speech, if you will, for the ACC basketball teams on the bubble for the NCAA tournament. That's coming up next.
Hey everyone, it's Joe Montana. Spreading the word about pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older like me, you're at increased risk. So, what's the game plan? A strong defense. Pneumococcal pneumonia can strike at any time in any season, so you shouldn't wait to help protect yourself. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination today and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander with 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. And get ready, North Carolina. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is launching soon. And just in time for the biggest college basketball tournament of the year. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets just for signing up before March 11th. Just go to FanDuel.com/Paul and join today. Then you'll be set to bet when FanDuel is officially live. Soon, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams in all your favorite sports. From parlays to prop bets and boxing to basketball, FanDuel has it all. So head to FanDuel.com/Paul and sign up and lock in $100 in bonus bets right now. Make every moment more with FanDuel, Availability subject to regulatory approval. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Bonuses are issued in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 30 days after FanDuel accepts its first real money sports wager in North Carolina. Unique user identity verification required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Where's me shamrock? Everybody's Irish at Hibernian Pub's St. Patrick's Day celebrations. This year, there's double the Irish with 2 parties.
Come out for a wee drum.
Saturday, March 16th, Hibernian takes over Glenwood South, starting at noon with live music, Irish dancers, bagpipers, and great food and drinks to celebrate all day. Then, Sunday, March 17th, there's a live DJ party with bagpipers and Irish dancers on North Street next to Hibernian Pub on Glenwood starting at noon. Get details at hibernianpub.com.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with Upfit Solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed Upfit Solutions from Van Products.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 4/6. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at the Law Tigers. If you're like me, I'm excited about the Carolina Hurricanes being back in action tonight. And to think they have 14 games over the next 24 days. As a Canes fan, I'm excited about that. But I'm also excited that the ultimate Canes fan can win a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. And that's right. Because the Law Tigers, Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes, they're all teaming up to get that ultimate Canes fan, like I said, a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. You can win this bike. You just got to enter today. Caniacsbike.com. That's Caniacsbike.com. By the way, we're weeks away from giving away this bike. Weeks away. It's going to be April 5th, live on the ice at PNC Arena. Enter now, Caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
This song is going to haunt my dreams. I don't even get it. I don't know the lyrics, but that darn melody. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Is this... I don't even know what to do here. This is no disrespect to the artist. No disrespect to the musician. I was on TikTok because our social media manager wants us to become familiar with all forms of social media, so I had the assignment of doom scrolling, which is just scrolling through videos and watching and letting the algorithm take over. And it gave me that video, and I watched it. I don't know why. My thumb wasn't quick enough. I don't know. And now the algorithm, the elves and trolls that run whatever pops up on my feed, think I want every different version of that song sung by a billion different people from a billion different perspectives with a billion different remixes. And it's just catchy enough that my brain, when I'm like walking through the halls,
I still find it funny that Ashley just gave you homework, and the homework was watching.
It's not really
watching
homework.
TikTok.
It's just like,
it's
hey,
homework.
if you have some time, which you always have 10 minutes, like waiting for something to load or whatever, you just scroll and I can't get it out of my brain. And then now Graham is just participating. He's an enabler in this whole deal because he's playing it coming out of break. And yes, I don't even care that I sound old. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So Graham, do you like when you see a song that you're like, oh, that's kind of catchy, you enjoy then catching 900 different remixes of it?
Well, I just don't get on TikTok that much. Like the only reason I get on TikTok is to get on the fans like Instagram or TikTok just to upload videos to preview pack therapy.
But the people that are big consumers of TikTok, They just like, oh, that song is catchy. Can I? And then they're excited to see 800 different people lip sync it.
I guess.
There are Duke basketball players that I saw lip syncing to that song.
Jared McCain.
Yeah.
Even though I'm 25 years old, I do not do the talk of ticking.
All right. Well, you were, by the way, Graham's very much playing up the role here, like he's not in the mix. I started complaining about TikTok. He was bringing up all kinds of videos. He had UNC basketball players dancing. He had Duke players doing the same dance.
Well, yes, because TikTok makes its way over to Twitter. So whenever Carolina wins, I get that video of Seth Trimble dancing outside the aircraft carrier to the one TikTok song with R.J. Davis's cameo, and then of course Jared McCain's. There's no escaping.
I don't know, but there's. I'm not a part of that world, but I was dabbling in that world, and it frustrated me. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The ACC needs more teams in the NCAA tournament than they're going to get. So I thought what we'd do is we'd do a little stump speeching. We do a little campaigning. Make a few arguments. So I have in front of me 4 bubble teams. Wake Forest, UVA, Pitt, and Syracuse. I think if things break their way, if they make some big moves, if a committee looks upon them favorably, they might be able to get their way into the NCAA tournament. So I have some arguments here. Graham, which team would you like to hear first?
Let's hear Wake Forest.
Wake Forest. Are you trying to pick a team that can beat the best teams in the country? Because that's Wake Forest. Now, if you want to take a step back and say, but they could lose to some of the worst teams in the country, that's possible also. But there are not many teams that would be happy with an 11 seed. There are not many teams that are clamoring to be part of the Tuesday first round games in Dayton that on paper you can go through spot by spot and not find huge deficiencies against the best teams in the country. You go to the best teams in the country. You go a center against Efton Reed. Efton Reed can hold his own. A power forward against Andrew Carr. Andrew Carr can hold his own. The shooting guard against Hunter Salas. Hunter Salas can hold his own. All the way on down. There are not teams in the bubble that you can do that. If you want a complete team that passes the eye test with flying colors at times, you want Wake Forest. What team is next, Graham? We have UVA, Pitt, and Syracuse.
Let's go UVA.
UVA, Tony Bennett, end of argument. No, I'm kidding. In reality, they're different. You can't prepare for Virginia in a day and a half, which is what you have to do in the tournament once you get to the second round, right? The scouting is quick. They're different, right? Do you know how many teams are out there in college basketball trying to run some form of spacing, pick and roll offense, and they're trying to pick up defense man-to-man, and everyone's doing it, right? It's like, is this 2007 and you're running a West Coast offense in the NFL? Well, guess what? Every defensive coordinator faces your offense every week. Guess what? They know how to stop it. Meanwhile, you throw a triple option team at them, they're not going to have any clue what to do, and they're going to have to game plan all for you in a week. That's UVA. They have a chance to go on a run because they're different. And they also have 2 of the best defenders in the country, and Nunn and Beekman. And it would feel weird if you had one of the best defenders in the country not in the tournament, let alone a team with 2 of them. Graham, you look very confused. What's going on in there?
I have to sneeze.
Oh, you have to sneeze. Oh, I thought I was making a wildly not easy to follow point.
No, you brought up good points all around. It's just allergies.
Oh, that's so funny. We have Pitt and Syracuse. Which one are we going to next, Sneezer?
Let's go with eeny, meeny, money. Let's go with Syracuse.
Syracuse. They beat North Carolina and have 11 wins in the ACC. What else do you need? They beat North Carolina and they have 11 wins in the ACC. They're 20-11 this year.
State couldn't even get 11.
20-11 this year, but 4 losses come to top 15 teams in the country. They played an aggressive non-conference schedule, and I don't want to encourage teams not to do that in the future. If you play an aggressive non-conference schedule and you lose a couple of games to top 15 teams in the country, I don't want that to be something that ruins your season, because then no one's going to do it again, and all we're going to have is the most boring non-conference schedule in the world. I want you to let them prove their worth. I'm not saying put Syracuse in right now. I'm saying let them prove their worth in the ACC tournament. Who else? We have Pitt, and that's it. Pitt. Blake Hinson is the third leading scorer in the ACC. He can shoot a team through a tournament. They're peaking at the right time. You want to know a fun fact about Pitt? Pitt was 3-6 in the ACC not long ago. Guess what they are now? 11-8. That's a big jump, right? If you close with a vengeance in a conference like the ACC, you want to reward teams that get better as the season goes along. You want to reward teams that aren't the same team now that they were in November. You want to reward teams that have a coach like Jeff Capel who is improving his team as the season goes along. So you don't have all you'd be encouraging teams to do if you don't put Pitt in is encouraging teams to go find veterans in the transfer portal so they're fully formed and you don't develop young guys and they just start the season being what they're going to be. No. Reward a team for getting better. Put Pitt in.
We also need to see Duke versus Pitt in the NCAA tournament so we could have the John Shire versus Jeff Capel coaches matchup.
Let's do it. That's the other thing. All of these teams, they can, like, as with me as their advocate, they can make my job easier as a lobbyist by going on a run in the ACC tournament and winning a couple games, right? You get one more, metaphorical pelt on the wall that can really help things also.
All right, now just for fun,
okay,
do NC State.
NC State, on paper, you look at the talent. They got a lot of it. And also, you really snubbed them in 2019, so this could be a payback where you give them one that they probably don't deserve. This is where they cash in their –
Talking about the baseball team or the basketball team?
Hey, there we go. How about that? We'll use that. Better example. You really messed over their baseball team a couple years ago. This is where they cash in their IOU and get into the tournament without deserving it.
I'm down for the argument of Boo Corrigan keeping receipts and be like, you know what? You screwed us with baseball in the College World Series. You screwed us with the Holiday Bowl.
Like the NCAA,
we're cashing in. We want to get in.
They have some store credit built up from the basket or from the baseball thing. They're going to go spend their store credit now at the NCAA shop, pick up a basketball entrance.
But not on those teams. Yeah, we're going to spend it on basketball.
Yeah,
we're going to use our credit on basketball again in the NCAA tournament.
And they're going to boost the women's seed a little bit. They're going to cash it in. Like
that's another thing. Playing in UConn when you were the higher seed.
Exactly. There's little things. We're going to cash in like 9 things right now, and we'll see what you can get. That's the best I got for you.
New pack therapy tomorrow.
New pack therapy tomorrow. I promise it'll be more detailed than that. But maybe they'll go on a Cinderella run through the ACC tournament. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close here. But stick around for Overdrive. Earlier today, we talked with Lauren Ingram. She is a freshman on the Duke volleyball team. Her brother, Harrison Ingram, is a 6'7" starting forward on the UNC basketball team. So her brother is coming to the arena she plays her volleyball games in to play against her classmates. UNC Duke on Saturday. What is it like for the student at Duke whose sibling is a star for UNC? We're going to hear all of that insight from Lauren Ingram as we replay it on Overdrive coming up next. Stick around.
Hey, Dennis Cox here. I've teamed up with my good friends over at Underdog Fantasy to help you play like a champion. To be like a champion, you got to play like one. Every smart team, every smart player, every smart coach, they have a game plan going in. And you have to be smart when it comes to gaming. You have to be smart and safe. That's why having a game plan is so vital for you. Create a budget that you can afford and make sure you stick with it. Stick with that game plan. But make sure as well that when you are gaming, that you're having fun while doing it. It's not just about making money. Yeah, that's something you can do. I've made money playing Underdog Fantasy, and it's fun. It adds a lot of value, but also make sure that you are having fun doing it. That's going to help you stay safe. If you're not having fun, seek help when necessary. Now you are ready to play like a champion. This message has been brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina.
He scores! Dmitry Orlov picks the corner, and the Canes take a 2-1 lead.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Second chance, they score! Jesper Fast knocks it home!
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Sound Station and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Sound Station and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Sound Station and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Sound Station and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Is your heating and air system ready for all weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
Hey, it's me, your future you. You made bad credit card moves. Got no rewards to use. Ugh. Should've compared cards with the nerds and got the cash back you deserve. Now you have to stand to see your favorite band while your friends all got VIP wristbands. Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find top credit cards today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet. Finance smarter.
A happy place comes in many colors. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. During our spring sales event, get 10% off any home painting project $2,500 or more when you schedule before April 30th. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. Home improvement contractor registration numbers are available at CertaPro.com.
When it comes to mixing drugs, you may think you have a safe approach, but the bottom line is, mixing drugs is never safe.